We acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which the upcoming match is being played. We would also like to pay our respects to elders past and present.
Rankin from the boundary, the $1 million shot! How do you like that? Only the sublimely skillful can hit that. He's off the wizard, and they'll be off to see the wizard!
The 2025 Toyota AFL Premiership season.
And the grandstands are heaving. He's doing it all, Nick Dacos. Jack Higgins from 45 out of the boundary has been able to shape that home. Stewart cooked him. Amazing tackle by Tom Stewart, and that could be a game changer. Rumbles to Southport, 2 bounces. It'll be a great goal. It's just been a great game to watch. I've loved this game.
Every game, every week.
The scores are level, and they're off their heads at the SCG. Curnow grabs it cleanly with the left, and then swings around onto the right. Magnificent start. Back to Schultz, outside of the ball, curling for a goal. Schultz is lifting the pies. Oh my goodness, you just can't keep the good ones down. The superstar cries when the occasion comes. The Lions produce a domination to make the golden era proud. The premiership is going back to Brisbane, and for Chris Fagan, it's the greatest coaching story in football history.
Welcome to AFL Nation.
The vibe in Adelaide is best described, I reckon, as ball bursting. Everybody is here, the whole football world in anticipation of gather rounds. There's a
It's a magic thing, and I can't actually believe it. I wish I could describe it to you better than that.
It's the people who make it, and there are people everywhere, including Hall of Famers, it seems, around every corner, and one of them is next to us, Brad Johnson. Hello to you, John.
Good evening, Gerard, Dwayne. You're right, Dwayne. It is awesome to be here, isn't it? And, Gerard, it's the only time of year you get away with walking around Adelaide with an opposition scarf on, and there's no issue.
Yeah.
Having lunch this afternoon, and, there's a couple of cat scarves walk past, and then you got the Bombers hat, and, it just the way that it's accepted in the streets of Adelaide, which is unbelievable.
I think there's also the selfishness from my point of view. As a C-list celebrity, there's that beauty of having one or two people come up here during the course of the day and say,
high there, Dwayne.
and say you're Dwayne Russell, aren't you? Well, there's a nice thing about, I'd hate to know what it was like to be Beyonce. She couldn't walk the streets. And if you're that big, you can't do it. You can't go out of your hotel room. But, if you want to feel good about yourself here in Adelaide, all you have to do is leave your hotel room for 10 minutes, walk down the main street, wait for someone to say, hey, Dwayne. And you say, okay, hey. And then you walk back to your hotel room and go back to sleep again. There is that it's the perfect scenario for a bloke like me who needs an ego boost every now and then.
They just yell out, you call, you get on.
He had his T-shirts today. It was such a great sign. Such a great sign of the Festival of Footy. Our pre-game show for Before You Dig, before every job search, Before You Dig, online every time. We've had a commitment throughout. We want South Australian royalty with us at every corner, and we have South Australian royalty to begin our broadcast tonight. The pride of South Australia might be the footy team we're about to see, but the toast of South Australia is the Sheffield Shield winning cricket team, and a centrepiece of that is Australian wicketkeeper Alex Carey. Alex, it's great to have you here. Congratulations and welcome.
No, thanks, Gerard. It's 29 years is a long time, and we certainly felt the love from all South Australians after able to win the Sheffield Shield last Saturday night.
So give us a feel of what does it mean to you?
Oh, it honestly means so much to me, and I've been lucky enough to represent Australia and win some pretty special urns and trophies, and it's a different feeling winning this one. I can't really explain it, and it doesn't mean more than winning the Ashes, that's for sure, but it certainly means just as much. And to see the South Australian fans storm the field as we all did, you couldn't have scripted it any better. It was an up and down game when we were certainly on top, and then we had a record chase to actually win the Sheffield Shield for the first time in 29 years. And I think that's also what made the feeling after so much special. We had to work really hard for it, but the year we had to win the One Day Cup and then the Sheffield Shield, it's been a big year in South Australia for sport, and to finally have it come home, hopefully for a few more years to come.
It was like a throwback to another era when they all stormed the ground at the end. Yeah,
look, there was a lot spoken about Adelaide Oval and potentially hosting it at Adelaide Oval, and I think looking back, it was the perfect venue. Karen Rolton, we had close to 5,000 fans every day. It was really quiet the first session, and then of the game, at the last session as we were about to win, it started to get a great atmosphere, and to have it at Karen Rolton Oval, everyone jumped the fence, try to steal a stump and not quite get away with it. Ben Menenti with his big moustache, people jumping around him, Jason Sanger trying to get off the park with cramp. Again, hopefully it's not 29 years until the next one, but it's certainly an iconic moment.
How satisfying to make 100 in the Shield final that you win?
Yeah, look, personal numbers are what, you try to go out and score 100. That's just cricket. Yeah. But I think, honestly, if I scored a duck and we still won, I would have just been as excited. And I'm really excited for Jason and the innings that he played under extreme pressure, moving to South Australia. We know his talent, and hopefully it springboards him to higher honours. But to be a part of it, and I think Jake Lehmann's innings gets overlooked a little bit because it was the first innings. And to see him score those runs in the first innings, and for me to spend a fair bit of time out there at the end, it was a great week.
What a summer you had. I mean, you were making hundreds at the start in Shield cricket. You made 100 at the end, and then all that went through the middle's a memorable test series that we'll talk about for years to come, and a little dalliance over in the Champions Trophy as well, which panned out. Have you given yourself a moment to go, that's a hell of a 6 months?
Look, I think I'm pretty good at living in the moment, and unfortunately there's no more cricket for a little bit. I want to keep playing, but I'm really excited to be here tonight watching some footy. I do love football, so over the next couple of weeks it will give me a good opportunity to reflect, still learn about my game and what I could have done better, and then lead into the World Test Championship over in England, which is really exciting. So I'd be more happy with the last 6 months if we're able to win a Sheffield Shield and a World Test Championship.
Yeah, round it all out perfectly. What are you going to do? Will you play any cricket in the lead up to the World Test Championship?
No, I won't. I'll stay at home with my family and spend a bit of time with them. We'll get over to the UK pretty early, I would say late May, for June 11th game. So we'll have, I would say, close to 2 weeks prep. Some boys will play some cricket in the UK. Obviously, guys are at the IPL now. But for me, it's a good opportunity, I think, after a pretty busy 6 to 12 months to just spend a little bit of time at home, rest the body, and then hopefully launch into another, successful 12 months.
It's an incredible week in this town. Have you been able to sort of feel the vibe yet?
Yeah, I love listening to your show and Dwayne and hear the callers, and as it starts to build from a Monday to now get to Thursday and the footy's finally here. I got in at about 5:30 and come across the bridge, and it feels like it's a grand final. Although I have never been to an AFL grand final, so I got to do. It feels like a really special week. The weather here is sensational. A little bit, I guess, off-seasonal at this time of year, but it's 30 degrees today. I'm a Crows fan, so 3 big forwards I think suits us tonight, and I just can't wait to watch most games throughout the weekend, topped off by Port and Hawthorn.
Yes, there's a bit there.
He said he listens, but he doesn't call. I mean, you call, you get on, You know that, don't you?
Well, I heard some caller waited for about 45 minutes, so I don't want to be that guy.
I have people ask me, is he just going to be a batter in the test team, or will he keep 2, and what are they doing? I can't answer those questions. You're listening. You can always send me a text, to answer it correctly, rather than me making a guess.
Nah, at this stage, I think...
you're going to answer it for him?
I think Josh and I are working pretty well together in one-day cricket, and he scored some runs in Sri Lanka. So, look, our depth in Australian cricket is so good. And Dwayne, great to see you tonight as well.
What sort of place does footy hold in your heart? We know the journey, but Was there a stage where it was definitely your first love, or was cricket always just edging ahead?
Oh, look, I still love footy. I love cricket. At the time I had to choose, I chose footy. I loved it. Not saying I didn't love cricket, but there's something about, I think, now we've got the Big Bash now as well. So nights like this, we can replicate with Big Bash cricket. Atmosphere's amazing. Test cricket's incredible. But how special is it having, the lights on here at Adelaide Oval with 40,000 fans? At that stage, Big Bash was just starting, so I was definitely in love with footy. But I'm also very grateful for the way it's all turned out.
Favourite Crows player all time?
All time?
Yep.
Andrew McLeod.
Yep. That's a connoisseur's choice if ever there was
Yeah,
one.
it's tough though. There's been some good ones. How old were you when Modra was in full flight? You would have been a bit too young?
He's my brother's idol.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. And we've still got the video record of Modra highlights, and they're good, aren't they?
That's so great. All right, the white ball series for the summer have just been announced, so you'll get going in. I do rather love using Darwin and Cairns and Mackay. The climate advantage to be had there, so that's August. And then we'll renew hostilities with India, which is rather tasty before the Ashes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an exciting summer to play cricket at the top end. We did it a few years ago, and Zimbabwe actually beat us in a one-day game up there, and it meant so much to them. But I think the players actually love going out to those venues and playing. Although the crowds aren't as big, it's a great opportunity to spend a lot of time with each other and play cricket at a venue where you grew up with, a bit of shield atmosphere, and to go out to Northern Australia, we're looking forward to it. Hopefully South Africans send out a lot of their good players, and it'll be a great series.
Fantastic to see you. Congratulations on all you achieved, and we look forward to seeing you in the World Test Championship.
Thanks guys. Have a great week in Adelaide.
South Australian royalty Alex Carey with us at the start of our AFL Nation broadcast. We are here at Gather Round for Toolkit Depot. Easter sale is on now. Before we delve into the preview with Brad Johnson, let's get the odds update thanks to PointsBet.
An odds update brought to you by PointsBet. Built different.
Jules to Soup here with an odds update for PointsBet. Thursday night footy, Gather Round kicks off with the Crows hosting the Cats. That probably didn't look like a blockbuster in the pre-season, but it certainly is now with the way that Adelaide has started the season. And arguably, along with Port and Hawthorn, this is the match of the round. Now the Crows at 3-1 going $1.60 favourites after a great start to the season and an unlucky defeat last week against the Gold Coast Suns. While the Cats have been a little bit up and down, they're $2.35. Their two wins have been against Fremantle at home and last week against the disappointing Demons. The Crows' forward line is absolutely flying, and no one more so than the big thrill seeker, Riley Thilthorpe. He's joint leader in the Coleman medal and has come in from $26 in the pre-season to $11 to still be leading at the end of the season. He's kicked 2+ goals in each of his last 5 games and 9 of his last 10. Currently, he's paying $1.60 to do that tonight, which is a good value leg in a multi. Outside Thilthorpe, Taylor Walker has strong form against Geelong. He's kicked 2+ in 4 of his last 5 games against the Cats and is paying $1.75 to do so again. In the middle of the ground, Adelaide have been the second highest average disposal team in the league, and a player certainly making a name for himself on this front is Jake Saligo. Over his last 5 games, he's averaging 27 touches, and at Adelaide Oval in 2025, he's had 29 and 28 respectively. He's paying $1.45 to have 25+. Looking at Geelong, a slightly left field one for disposals is Brian Myers at 20+. He's had 20+ in 4 of his last 5 and 7 of his last 10. But more importantly, he's hit 20+ in his last 3 games at Adelaide Oval. He's paying $1.65 to get 20+ in this one. So I suggested multi in what should be a fantastic game. Thilthorpe and Walker 2+ goals. Saligo 25+ disposals. Myers 20+ disposals for a total price of $7.24. Overall, the Cats, great record against the Crows, great record at Adelaide Oval, but no Jack Henry in defence. I think the Crows can sneak home by 7 points. For all your AFL markets, get onto the PointsBet app.
Brought to you by the PointsBet AFL Tracker. PointsBet, built different. You win some, you lose more. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online. Every time.
Whether you're first timing, upsizing, investing, or empty nesting, if you've found the right home, MeBank has the right loan for you. With great rates and support from a local mobile banker whenever you need it, there's no better time to let me help with your next move. Search MeBank Home Loans today or reach out to your local banker to get started. Me, making money good. Credit criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. Sexyland. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery. Sexyland.com.au.
Big news, sports fans. ESPN is now on Disney Plus. Yep, you heard that right. Your Disney Plus subscription just got even bigger with live games, epic sporting moments, and 10,000 hours of ESPN's premier sporting events. And no better time to kick things off with the NBA playoffs right around the corner. Will your team make it? You can find out. Then watch all your favourite movies and series. One subscription, endless entertainment. ESPN on Disney Plus. Turn it on.
If you're in the market for a quality Australian manufactured shed, contact Best Sheds today and take advantage of their 25% off sale. They've got the best sheds in the business and their sheds come in all sorts of shapes and sizes and come with a 20-year manufacturer's warranty. Choose from the standard range or customise the shed of your dreams and save with Best Sheds 25% off sale. Save big at Best Sheds. 100% Australian owned and manufactured. Visit bestsheds.com.au.
Kicking off a project, what you gonna do? So many moving parts, and only one of you. Why don't you just coax every project sing? Yeah, make it sing. It's coax in your corner, make sure you're looking for anything. Why don't you just coax it?
Visit coates.com.au.
G'day, it's the Ox. If you or your loved ones have tried to beat addiction with no success, then MyHab is the place for you. Our qualified staff have all been there, so they know the process and the path needed for recovery. Call Cheryl on 1300 190 370 or go to myhab.com.au.
Business owners, let's make sure that's not the final siren for your business, but the beginning of a new era. I coach with a tailored approach that suits your business. Visit coachnick.com.au to book in your free consultation today.
I think I was motivated by a TV show that I watched when I was younger. So they were talking about mortician. It just stuck to my mind and it was what I wanted to do.
I've always just kind of wanted to be in a role where I can help people.
Been with Tobin's for 15 years.
Probably looking for a more meaningful role. This provided a kind of combination of supporting people as well as doing graphic design.
Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
If somebody hits you from behind, daydreaming, they just couldn't stop in time. If it's not your fault and you need a ride, call Right to Drive.
Accidents happen when we least expect them, but why should you be stuck without a car? That's why Right to Drive provides replacement vehicles to not-at-fault drivers. And here's the best part, it won't cost you a thing.
If it's not your fault and you need a ride, call Right to Drive.
T's and C's apply.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show. For Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online. Every time.
A very cool light show happening at Adelaide Oval at the moment. The lights are down. There are projections. It's the club logos. Each clash has been beamed down onto the fields. She's a pretty good setup, Brad Johnson.
This is a great site. It really is. It's amazing. It's fantastic what is being put on display at the moment. It's going to come up absolutely brilliant all around Australia and wherever everyone is watching and listening, this is a fantastic start to what is a massive weekend of football.
For all the 2025 AFL gather round action, head to Station Road, Sky City. Dwayne will be there tomorrow. We've got crunch time there on Saturday, so it's our central hub. There's a dunking tank, so I'm told 9 o'clock local. Kane goes in.
Oh,
They're
wow.
expecting queues all the way back over the bridge to the Oval to
will be
line
in the
up
queue?
to send him down.
Bevo coming down. Jack Darling, after the spray gave him last week, he'll be coming down. Oh, there'd be a lineup of people that are in the game, let alone people that are out of the game. The light show was great too, by the way. The whole field was like a screen, a TV screen, and the projections onto it just gave an indicator as to what you could do in South Australia. They're stepping it up a gear again this year. It's great.
Well, they have to continue to step it up, and that's the thing. It can't be the same year in, year out, and it has got that feel about it that it is going to go to another level this year. They've learned so much the first couple of years, and you can see the benefit from that, and it's going to be absolute packed houses everywhere. The footy's going to be fantastic from Adelaide Oval right through to the Norwood Oval to the Barossa Valley.
The Hyundai Keys to Summer event is on now. Unlock offers on a range of Hyundai models. The team news that what had been rumoured throughout the afternoon, Tom Stewart is out of the Geelong side. Ted Closey returns. He's going to be the sub. Isaac Rankin is playing. Zach Taylor is the sub in an unchanged Crows lineup. So a knock to the calf on a 5-day break, but Rankin proves himself ready to go.
Yeah, and he did look sore, and at the end of the game last week, I was up there for Gold Coast and Adelaide, and that last quarter, I know all the talks around the drop mark that he had, but he didn't touch the ball really in that last quarter. He wasn't moving with that explosive power to get the Adelaide Crows over the line. So we'll wait to see early on how it goes. I think ideally they'd love to just sort themselves out in the first 3 quarters here, Gerard, and maybe rest an Isaac Rankin come late. But I don't think that's going to be the case. This game's going to go right down to the wire. It's both teams that are in some pretty good form and have started the season pretty well, and would be keen to obviously set the round up with a big win here tonight.
In the team news, as Noah Bolter hasn't been picked by Richmond, I cannot for the life of me understand why they didn't just signal during the week rather than let this boil on. Just say we're not picking him for any reason. The fact that he hasn't played VFL or whatever is you let a firestorm rage that brings in the victim, his family, the Premier of a state, and for what? Like, to
for a non-selection, that's what it is.
That's ridiculous. Sometimes I think clubs get completely lost in what they should be doing. They should have put a statement out, just told someone early in the week, hey, this is not happening. So let's not let this be a debate all week. It's not happening.
I couldn't agree more with that. And yeah, to let it go right until now, it's sort of it sounds like I know the teams have come out and it is what it is, but not for it to be lost in what's about to happen. But it can't be avoided, because you're right, it should have just been nipped in the bud at the start of the week.
And Harry Mackay is in the Carlton side, so he's
travelled with Harry on the flight today, so he looked in good spirits and up and about.
Did you give him the 1C and go back to his 26A?
I think about 1A for him. A bit more leg room. Could stretch out of the aisle as well.
Very kind of you.
AFL Nation is for elders. You can rely on elders and 4 and 20 pies. So the scene is set now at Adelaide Oval. The banners are out and the players soon to follow. The Crows have opening rights, as they have done for the previous 2 gather rounds. They have won one and lost one. They have a poor record against Geelong in recent times, so it makes for a stacked encounter, hand-picked to get this weekend of footy underway. Here at Gather Round we are, thanks to Toolkit Depot. Easter sale on now. The full preview with Brad Johnson coming up next. The pre-game show for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online every time.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online every time.
Kicking off a project. What you gonna do? So many moving parts and only one of you. Why don't you just go say?
Visit coates.com.au.
Got a truck off the road?
Truckline's got the parts you need to get back on track fast. We'll keep you moving with over 70,000 parts in stock for North American, Japanese and European trucks and trailers. Get the quality parts you need and the service you deserve from our team of experts who really know their stuff. Truckline, the parts you need Australia-wide. Visit truckline.com.au today.
Big news, sports fans. ESPN is now on Disney Plus. Yep, you heard it right. Your Disney Plus subscription just got even bigger with live games, epic sporting moments, and 10,000 hours of ESPN's premier sporting events. And no better time to kick things off with the NBA playoffs right around the corner. Will your team make it or not? Well, you can check it out on Disney Plus, ESPN now. There you can find it. Watch all your favourite movies and your series. One subscription, endless entertainment. ESPN on Disney Plus. Turn it on.
Is your date running late? Forget doom scrolling. Add some thrill to your wait with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app today.
When your body is running on less than 5 hours sleep, your mind begins to wander and your reaction time is slowed. You'll also find it more difficult to concentrate and your memory can be affected. But do you know what the worst part is? With under 5 hours sleep, you're 4 times more likely to crash. Driving tired? Wake up to yourself. A message from the TAC.
Sustained performance in footy is more than just one great game. It's about playing consistently, game after game, season after season. Host Plus has delivered strong performance over the long term with top returns over 20 years. A top performing super fund over the long term? That's a plus. Based on super ratings data as at December 2024. Consider the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au before deciding. Past performance is not a reliable indicator of future performance. Search Compare Host Plus today.
4 and 20, Australia's original fan food, and Coles are giving your local club the chance to win $2,000. That's $1,000 cash and $1,000 worth of 4 and 20 pies. You beauty. From April 1st to June 3rd, it's game on. Register your club, buy any 4 and 20 pack from Coles, enter online and collect the most points to win. Track your club's progress on fntsportspromo.com.au. Every pack counts. 4 and 20, Australia's original fan food.
T&C supply ends June 3rd.
Through 100 years, New Farm has gone through thick and thin with Australian farmers. Through protection, through innovation, through growth. All so that Australian farmers are there for Australia. Because when you choose New Farm's crop protection solutions, you choose to support Australian jobs, Australian innovation, and a strong Australian supply chain. Through our partnership, we're tougher together. Visit newfarm.com.au. New Farm. Australian through and through.
When using a knife in the workplace, safety is critical. Martel provides top quality knives, blades and accessories for safer ways to cut, giving you peace of mind knowing your workers are in safe hands. Martel Australia, the safer way to cut. Visit martelaustralia.com.au.
Join the conversation. Text 0433 98 11 16. This is the pre-game show. For Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online. Every time.
They're the biggest team in town, the Adelaide Crows. They have opening rights for Gather Round yet again. They are out on Adelaide Oval. It's a slightly different crowd to their home crowd, but they are represented in huge numbers as the locals turn out to cheer on the pride of South Australia. Welcome back to AFL Nation for Elders. You can rely on Elders. And for 4 and 20 Pies, they are one of the sprint teams early in the season. Won their first 3, playing with the 3 big forwards. Narrowly defeated at the centre of much angst after that with one umpiring decision at the end. They return to the field looking to put things right. Our pre-game show is for Before You Dig. Before every job, search Before You Dig online every time. Their opponents, Geelong, are at the cathedral end of the ground going through their warm-ups. The Cats have won 4 in a row against Adelaide and 7 out of 8 in recent times. Gerard went in Dwayne Russell to call this for you. Brad Johnson is our expert. SEN Stadium, if you're coming to any of the grounds across Gather Round, put the earbuds in, get the SEN app. You can listen to the call without delay. And if you're at home, SEN Sync, which I'm sure you're well used to by now. Jono, what are your overriding thoughts?
Well, I've loved what I've seen from the Adelaide Adelaide Crows throughout the start of the year. And last week it was the bookends of decisions. It was the one in the first quarter where they were paid an advantage. Gold Coast were paid an advantage, but then ended up in their first goal, which is the worst decision I've seen all year. And then obviously what happened at the end. So it didn't go their way last week when it looks at decisions. They can't have that mindset leading into tonight. It just has to be a clean, pure play on the ball, and hopefully things turn their way and some of the decisions start falling in their favour, because they do deserve them as a footy club. Their loss to Gold Coast, though, I don't think was the worst thing, because Gold Coast are on fire, but they still played an exciting brand of footy that allowed them to score freely when given an opportunity, Gerard, but then also defend the way they have throughout the first part of the season has just been outstanding. So from a team point of view, they focus on their big three. They've scored a lot of goals. They're flying at the moment, but the way they're bringing the ball in, the way they're playing off half-back and using the ball, changing the angles and really opening up the ground has been outstanding in the first part of this game. The Catters on the other side, they were brilliant against the D's, and all the talk out of Adelaide this week, out of the Crows, is we have to restrict the uncontested marks of the Cats. Well, that is true. 100% that's what has to happen, but it's not so much the uncontested marks where the chip goes back and sideways slow. It's for the Cats, the uncontested mark that goes forward of the mark, that comes in on the 45. They're the dangerous ones for the Cats that allow them to get their ball movement going, their attack going, and their flow in the game. So from an Adelaide point of view, they'll be looking to expose that and stop it, and they have to do that with real gut run and intent. For the Cats, they'll be looking to naturally just play their game and get that flow happening where they can control the contest and give their forwards the best opportunity to put a score on the board tonight.
The teams are going through their warm-ups for Ream, Australia's favourite. That's steady, hot and strong. It just feels to me, Jono, like if the Crows are about to arrive, and they do look like a team, they're overdue in fairness. They are overdue. But if they're about to arrive in this season, they're going to come out on their home turf in a main event and beat a team that's had the better of them for a period of time.
Absolutely, that's spot on. And I think where they're setting themselves up as a football club, their age and game profile is just about right, Gerard. Like they're just about there. I think that was Danger who got the boo on the big screen.
On the way through. Still the villain after all these years.
So they're sitting at about age 24, 25 across the group, but then their games profile is about average 90 games. Now, 25 and 100 is about where you want to be as a football club. So this is their year to explode as a club, to really make a charge towards finals football again, but not only just make it, but have a real impact in September. And you're right, it's overcoming an opposition that has in the past and historically had the better of you in recent times, and that's part of the challenge, because Geelong come here confident about what they can produce and how they match up against an Adelaide Crows football club.
We are here at Gather Round for Toolkit Depot. Easter sale is on now. The last time we saw Geelong at this ground, they pulverised Port Adelaide in the qualifying final. The circumstances were a little bit similar as the home team was fancied. Tom Stewart was a laid out, and that was... It was alarming how good they were that night in their peak performance of 2024.
And that was huge, and it was some individual brilliance as well. And you feel you're going to get that individual brilliance tonight. Danger was back to his very best last week, but his role within this Cat side is really interesting, and I think will evolve even further as the year goes on and we start to see the fatigue of the season. But I think they're setting him up beautifully to be able to run out majority of the home and away games without really having to be rested or spelled throughout the season with the age that he is. The profile of playing in centre bounce and having that burst and explosiveness through centre bounce, which is really important, not really playing as a midfielder around the ground, and then going and parking yourself inside forward 50, and with the work rate and power that he's got, he's able to expose the opposition's best defenders, and he was able to do that last week. He probably should have kicked 5 or 6, and that's the only blight on when you talk about a Patrick Dangerfield, is the fact that he walks off the ground with 3 goals 3 or 2 goals 4 instead of the big bag of 5s and 6s on a regular basis, just because of his kicking and it not being the very best that I think he would have liked throughout his career.
Our travel partner is Signet. Stay powered 24/7 with Signet AFL Club Power Banks. Stanley stayed in the team.
Yes.
De Koning returned to fullback last week and played his best game since his premiership year.
Totally agree. He actually looked settled for the first time in a long time. I know he had the facial injury and he was battling that last year, and it just didn't seem to find that same level of performance or aggressiveness in the contest. He looked excellent last week. So you hope he's a young player that finds that one burst again to get back to top level footy and then holds it for a sustained period of time.
O'Sullivan emerged before our very eyes, and then Blitzarves, it'll be so interesting to see, is he going to have to play key defence because of what the Crows bring with their three key forwards, or will Chris be able to use him in the way that he likes to, which is any which way but loose?
Yeah, it's an interesting one, isn't it? Look, you think he becomes the second ruck at some point throughout the game, with obviously Stanley. So I think that's the key for Blitzarves is probably more in around the footy, and I think Zach Guthrie has the ability to play a little bit taller, so he's likely to go to maybe a Fogarty, I would have thought, and I know there's a tiny bit of size difference, but Guthrie has got that ability to be able to lock down, and he's really consistent. I love the way he's grown as a player over the last couple of years, and he's just confident now at AFL level. You know what you're going to get every single week from Guthrie, and I think he's got the ability to hold one of them out tonight.
Clint Eastwood.
Yep.
Nice. Didn't know you're a Clint Eastwood fan. His first movie reference for the night.
The weather today, my goodness, Adelaide has shown off.
I obviously didn't pick that up.
Yeah, there's two movies that aren't too bad. I think his wife at the time, Sondra Locke, is in them with him. But they're worth a watch. I don't know if they still stand up in 2025, but they were good in their day.
The weather for Grundfos, 80 years of innovation. Grundfos pumps, serious performance, built for life. Search Grundfos Serious Pump. It's 23 degrees off a top of 30. The low is only going to be 18, and then tomorrow 27, Saturday 31, and Sunday 31 as well.
The low is 18. It was 18 when I left Melbourne today. So to left Melbourne to come here was 18 during the day. That's the low for tonight.
It's proper showing off. How gorgeous. Who could provide the unmissable moment for Drinkwise? You won't miss a moment if you Drinkwise.
Well, I think we all hope it's Isaac Rankin who produces it tonight. If he bursts out of the blocks.
What about Danger kicking the goal after the siren to the booze?
That would be enormous. That would be unmissable. That's for sure. But we obviously go to the two stars from either team, and Isaac Rankin with the injury cloud. I think obviously he's been past fit, so we wait to see how explosive he is in this game.
Choose to drink wise. The toss of the coin for Keno Go, $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes with Keno Go. There's a little bit of a breeze blowing to the cathedral ends, but I doubt it's substantial enough to impact things. And in fact, Zach Dawson has won the toss and decided to kick against it. So Jordan Dawson, I beg your pardon. So to the right, to the riverbank stand, and as
why would you kick with the wind?
It mustn't be a wind down there.
I know we can see the flags, but
strengthening late.
We'll wait and see.
They'll come home with the last quarter.
You think that's what it is?
It'll be worth more.
Keno Go play with $2 today. Breakout player today for Australian Outdoor Living, bringing backyard dreams to life.
The breakout player, I think, will be. Let's go. I had a name in my head before, and now it's Lolling. O'Sullivan was the one. Yes, I was looking for him. I think that's the key in terms of what he produced last week. And now, when you do that, you want to start backing that up as a player. You mightn't hit the same heights, but you just want to be consistent in what the coaches are watching and seeing from you, and what your teammates are expecting from you at ground level. So he's definitely the one that needs to stand up again.
And Mark Blitzarves is the Flexolt most flexible player for Flexolt, the only flexible oral lice treatment for sheep. The final words have been advanced by the coaches for best sheds, Australian sheds at the lowest prices, and so we're about to go. The pre-game show comes to its conclusion for Before You Dig, before every job, search Before You Dig online every time.
Blitzarves has gone back, as you suggested, Gerard. He's gone to Taylor Walker, O'Sullivan on Fogarty, De Koning on Phil Ford. What a matchup.
Adelaide is the centre of the football universe. Gather round for the third time. The Crows to open against the Cats on AFL Nation. You're with Dwayne Russell.
And you're with us for 4 and 20 pies, ball in the middle. Dangerfield starting in the middle. Dawson right with him, alongside him. So the two captains side by side. We're underway. Atkins tackled straight away. Won't go nowhere. O'Brien wrapping him up, bringing him down. Big crowd in, fantastic atmosphere, good side at the moment. Ball knocked out to Manor, gave it straight off to Watkins. He looked up and thumps it long. It's over the head of Neil. Getting back was Hinge, got a fist on it, knocked it central though. Jordan Dawson's got it, Dangerfield's got him, dragged him down. The two captains still going head to head. Manor had a chance, Smith's got a chance. Gave it to Humphreys, fed it out to Jezza. Jeremy Cameron 55 out. He centres at top of the square. Almost Ollie Henry, couldn't quite mark it with the back of his hand from the scramble, hammered away, and Fogarty comes down almost to a bad pilot to take the saving mark for the Adelaide Crows. That's why there's applause.
It's brilliant support, isn't it? It's brilliant support by Fogarty to get back down there and support defence as one of the key forwards for the Adelaide Crows.
Short to Scholl. Brings it down the broadcast side of Adelaide Oval. It'll land up on the logo. O'Brien and Stanley. Ball underfoot. Ilthorpe was able to feed it on. Foggy released the footy. It came through Saligo up to Peatling. Bouncing ball trapped against the boundary. Tex put a step on. Broke clear and kicked a stunning opener. Vintage Tex brings the house down with the first goal of the other rounds.
Wow.
And did they love it?
How good was that? He gets the best tweak on the Sherrin that I've ever seen. Taylor Walker, we saw it right there on the left this time. The way he was able to push off Blixarves, get onto the left and turn that Sherrin beautifully. What a goal. What a way to start gather round. Taylor Walker just sets it alight.
Blixarves thought he was going to go the other way.
Yeah.
And he sold it beautifully, Tex, because to get onto your left, normally you do go the other way, but he knew what Blixarves was thinking and said, I'm going to do the complete opposite. That's how good Tex was. Well called, Gerard. That was a fantastic goal. That sets the scene. Beat that. Rest of the competition. Back in the middle. That might be the best goal of Gather Round, and we've just seen the opening goal of Gather Round kicked by Tex in beautiful style. Atkins gets the clearance, rolls it to half forward. Hinge got there ahead of Stengel and takes it out half back flank for the Crows. Big crowd in. There's a few that are still getting in that'll be a bit unhappy they missed that. It's about, probably looking through the binoculars, it's about 16 spare seats right now. So if you're still getting here, the hill is jam-packed. Yes. Ball back into play in front of the hill. It's a beautiful sight here. The Adelaide Oval's got enough of the new and the old. They've kept the hill. Still the Moreton Bay Figs and the cathedral behind them. The old scoreboard, and you've got a couple of the new down the Riverbank stand end and the Max Bashir and Wanganeen and Rashudo stands. It's just a beautiful sight. It's a pleasure to be here.
As pretty as any ground in the world. Neil wins the tap inside the Cats 50. Laird is onto it though in defence. He found a step of space. Risky kick. Ollie Henry going back. Hooked out of his hands. It was well played by Neil Bullen. Hand passes around the boundary to Scholl, so it's daring stuff. Miller works it on. And it ends with Peatling as he's muscled over the boundary by Close.
Well played by Peatling not to cough that up. He knew the pressure was coming. A couple of over-the-top handballs from the Adelaide Crows. And the Cats were able to close it up, but he did well not to cough it up and turn it over on centre wing.
Crows plus scoreboard, that's the plus. The Crows with the opener, O'Brien contested in the ruck really off to Dawson. Hand passes it forward. Neil Bullen plays it back to the boundary.
Everything's forward. Everything's forward at the moment from the Adelaide Crows, trying to take ground and make the Cats chase them and put pressure on them.
O'Brien, Stanley. Stanley with the long hair and the headband. O'Brien with the number one cut. They come in hard. Ball missed them both. Smith picks it up off shoelaces. Banks it to half forward. Neil got a hand on it. Hinge got a hand on it. Stengel got a hand on it. Now it's the boundary umpire's ball to be tossed in. About 80 from the Cats goal. Crows have a goal. Cats haven't scored yet. Form that's gone. Opening field, which is brought to us by Host Plus. That's a plus in the top for New Tech. Automation for manufacturing New Tech. Back into play. Stanley got a piece of it. Knocked it down to Smith, but he tries to don't argue. Got away with it. Got it to Manor. Kicks toward the 50 and dropping back, taking a good mark is clean for the Adelaide Crows, and he holds them up between half-back and full-back.
I like the look of the shorts. Laird with footy in hand was called to play on. Gives it back to Keane. Takes the territory up the line. O'Brien kept out it, so Fogarty arrives and takes a commanding mark. He'll wheel and go. No, he gives the hand pass instead to Scholl on the flyby. Changed his mind midstream. Sets it deep. Thilthorpe couldn't quite hang on. Tex for a moment. It got through him. Holmes has it for the Cats. Blasts it out. O'Brien flicks it inboard. Ground ball to be won. No, he took hold of Stanley. The umpire said it's not a popular decision.
Right. Adelaide Crows fans have filled their arena. Short pass is good. Nevitt has it for the Cats. He's been introduced back to the lineup this week, back towards half-court and Worrell.
It's a good mark. The Adelaide Crows are definitely on. They're sharp in the early part of this game.
Spot on they are. Keys comes down to half-back to take the mark for the Crows. Half-back flank up against the boundary, outer side. Post plus, that's a plus. Scoreboard still the Crows leading a goal to nil. If you just joined us on AFL Nation, he pumps it down the line. Tex flies, can't mark. Off hands, Smith hands it on longer. Sullivan gave it off to Stengel. Squeezes the pass to Cameron. So he'll line up from the boundary. It's kickable by his standards, but he's got to be on the line about 45 out when he snaps it around his body.
It's a big snap. It's going to be a huge snap from Gerard Cameron. He's having a crack though. You're right, he's going to have to kick this 45 out on the boundary line.
Pretty good at these long curling balls though. A lot of the full forwards have become good at this. He bends it around, he hit the belly of the ball, it's across the face and it's markable even though it's an unremarkable kick. And it's out of play, forward pocket for the Cats. They'll get a ball in. Host plus scoreboard. To the Crows, one straight. Cats yet to score. Played 7 minutes on New Tech clock. New Tech, optimise your business with automation.
Boundary throw in. Cats deep forwards. O'Brien won the tap. Bowes fought his way through and then hand passed toward goal, which was an unusual strategy. It goes through for the Cats' first score.
Worrell back pocket. So they'll work it out aside. Sticking to that side at the moment. Keys was there, knocked it down. Peatling got the crumb, gave it off, and they're out here. Long bomb. Well, Tex and Thilthorpe were forward. Tex led short. Thilthorpe went long. They went longer to Thilthorpe. Manhandle. Keys picks it up. Squeezed the kick inside. Couldn't find his target. Handball from Mullen to Holmes to De Koning. Goes wider to Ollie. Henry used his body to perfection. Umpire says play on, took the mark. Crowd thought Scholl should have got a push in the back, but I thought that was fair. His kick was horrific though. Straight to the waiting arms of Keane, and the crowd think the footy gods are here. Well, they have to be here. It's going around.
Here. Great kick.
Yeah, aggressive kick right into centre field. Hinge has footy in hand, so he controls the direction. Up to Walker, inside the centre square. Tex flumped the kick inside 50. No mark. De Koning comes out. Good gather. Hand passes to Bowes. Kicks the Cats into the middle. Missed close. Loose ball to be won. Neil gathers. Spins his way clear. Hand pass to Humphreys. Directs the Cats inside the 50. Overkicks Manor. Dangerfield hit the contest hard and the man hard. Smith off to Cameron. Up to full forward. Close has run into space. It's his ball in the left forward pocket.
Oh, superb vision from Gerard Cameron. I know it was his favourite left side, Gerard, but I thought he was going to launch from 55, open goal square. But at the corner of his eye, he was able to pick out Brad Close.
He's going to come around the corner. So he's close enough to make the distance. Whacks it at goal and gets it through. Brad Close with the Cats first. We lead by a point. Host Plus scoreboard winner of CanStar's Outstanding Value Super Award for the 8th year in a row. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TMD at hostplus.com.au.
Oh, that was fantastic by the Cats to be able to turn the ball over in a critical spot in the corridor and then get some run and drive going forward to the contest. It took a superior effort from Patrick Dangerfield and his aggression and power at the contest to burst through. Yeah, he was held up in a tackle, but what it did, it's built some numbers, and the numbers were in the Cats' favour. And Jeremy Cameron with fantastic vision out to Brad Close, who kicks the first for the Cats tonight.
Back in the middle. Big crowd, great atmosphere. O'Brien to go at it. He goes Neil this time, so Stanley's having a rest. Neil has a crack at the ruck, knocks it down, and Bowes lays the tackle. Get another ball up. Saliga wasn't going anywhere. The umpire brought that up. Well, not then. Dangerfield is in the middle. Gave it to Bowes. Cats get the clearance. High inside 50. Shallow inside 50. Cameron can't mark it. Nankervis. Rankin. Chips it wide. Neil Bullen raced for it. And he couldn't really get there. It was out front, but way too far out in front. We'll get a ball in. Half forward flank for the Cats, but it's still a couple of kicks from their goal. New tech clock. Automation for manufacturing. 10 minutes gone.
No, he died. Rankin died. Atkins gave him a bump in the back, and he's hit the deck, and it's not great. But he's fooled the central umpire.
Well, it's for them, so he fooled all four of them.
Yep.
Doesn't work the four-umpire system. I'm with you, Gerard. We go back to one.
You only have to fool one, though, Dwayne, because he who blows the whistle is king.
He actually half fell down and thought, I'm halfway down, I better keep going.
Crouch goes backward to Keane. Breaks out through the middle. Has a bounce on the ball. Checks his kick to the legs. Crows have got runners on the outer side. Laird stays more centrally, though. Guides up to Keys. Flicks the hand pass on. Michael Annie up to full forward. 5-man pack. Ball knocked to ground. Has to be won. Tex has got it again. And Tex has kicked it behind. He hit the left-hand post.
He gets too much tweak. That was his problem. He tweaks the sharing.
It pitched and turned and beat leg, and you go, how could it move so far? 1-1 each of two.
So much spin on the Sharon with a snap.
So Cats run for defence. Holmes down the wing, knocked away from Dempsey.
If he was 10-pin bowling, he'd have to start right outside the lane and just let it come
Two
back
lanes away. He'd have to get it to go. I like it. You're going to give us a big Lebowski reference there, Gerard. Whilst we're talking movies. Ball back into play. The big Lebowski's back inside 50, waiting for the inside 50. Can he get it? Tex, he might get it. No, he left it for Riley. So Riley first thought, the line-up. This is a big moment as well for him. He's been in great form.
Big three
can start stacking the games together, John.
Oh, they can, Dwayne. And the big three have started well again, haven't they? With Phil Thorpe, Tex Walker was right in the game. Fogarty's taken a couple of big marks already.
Big unit, put on a bit of size and strength over the summer. Heads toward goal. Crowd don't like it. It's a behind only on the Host Plus scoreboard. Again, just moved a bit through the air. Our expert, Brett Johnson for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts.
O'Connor marked the kick in, gave it back to Holmes, who delivers down the wing. Humphreys on the skidding ball, went off the ground, charging the other way, was coming to keep it in dispute. Now it has to be won. Humphreys went and won it. Atkins fed it out the side. Missed Myers and he fumbled it. Rankin towed it to his own advantage on the steal, and he kicks it for Tex. 2 wide out on the full. Tex get the ball. Tex is a bit reluctant to hand it over.
Only Tex gets away with that. Whose ball is it, he said? Only one bloke within 50 metres.
Goes backward to Humphreys, steers to Bowes. Looking into the middle of the ground. Just check the kick. Mullen, centre half back for the Cats. Oh, risky kick. Nankervis came from behind, never to make the spoil. Crows have got it. Crouch out the side. Nankervis involved again. Gives it on to Keys. Looks inside 50. Cats have got 2 on 1. Oh, they crash into each other and Curtin will go. Humphreys and O'Connor plowed into each other. And Curtin strolled it in. Adelaide with a couple, 2-2-14 to Geelong 1-1-7. Those defenders won't want to look at that replay from Makita XGT. More power, more efficiency, more Makita.
What Adelaide Crows are doing well in this first quarter is restricting the Cats' uncontested marks. We know last week they had just so many of them. They dominated Melbourne in that fashion, and it's been a focus for the Crows all week. And the way they've spoken throughout the media is that we must stop them from getting those chip kicks around. They pushed forward on this occasion, rather than create the sprawl in the middle of the ground. And then from there, they were able to create the outnumber once again, get the ball inside forward 50. A little bit of luck, but that's what happens in the contest. Sometimes it falls your way, and it did on that occasion for Curtin. Was able to kick Adelaide second.
AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, and for Elders, you can rely on Elders. Good game at the moment. And they're still coming in here at the Adelaide Oval. It's sardines on the hill. It's a great watch. this game as well. Atkins gives it to Bowes. Cats get the clearance. High bomb, attacking 50. Dempsey will get there. Quick little grab for the Cats, but he's too far out to score. He's 80 from goal as he backpedals. Crows getting numbers back. Spears the ball to the pocket in hope of, well, he would have taken anybody, but Myers might get the crumb off hands. Dangerfield gets it. Gave it back to Dempsey. 50 from goal. Chips at top of the square. No one really flies for the Cats. They all stayed down, let the Crows fly. Nankervis kicks smartly, ricochets to Manor, goes with the kick from the pocket. Worrell decides to take it through on the goal line and concedes it behind. So the Crows 2-2, Cats 1-2. 16 minutes gone opening term on the New Tech clock. New Tech automation for manufacturing the score for Host Plus. That's a plus.
Gather round, footy in hands. Worrell brings it in long, and it's Curtin Thilthorpe. Guthrie always had that covered, standing underneath in the drop zone.
And they got this set up wrong then, the Adelaide Crows. Curtin was going to be the block. Thilthorpe was the floater across.
Guthrie's going to get a 50. Oh, Thilthorpe jumped. He'd been told to stand, and as Guthrie moved out to the right, Thilthorpe moved 2 steps across before play on had been called.
It's a good pick-up, Gerard, because I was looking further down whether there was a free kick or an infringement inside 50 that warranted the 50-metre penalty.
The defender doesn't kick goals out of turn. 14 in his 106-game career coming here tonight. But Zach Guthrie has been moved 25 metres out from goal. And Guthrie won't miss the opportunity. Cats level it up. It is a high-quality start. They're running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water.
Oh, that's a natural, goal-kicking routine by Zach Guthrie. A lot of other forwards could take note there, Gerard, too. The best way to kick it, he was relaxed and was able to nail a great opportunity. He's getting a few checks on the way back to his position at half-back, but I love the way he's positioned himself. We spoke about him pre-game and his ability and the work that this young man has done on his game over a number of years now to become a consistent high-level performer for the Cats. One of the first selected every week because of what he produces has just been outstanding. So it's reward for effort with what he's been able to do so far in season 2025.
17 minutes gone, opening term for New Tech automation for manufacturing. All square, 2-2 apiece, ball thumped into the deck. Stanley goes up against Thilthorpe, so the number 1 ruck for the Cats against the number 2 for the Crows. Atkins goes down low, caught, trying to get a handball away, tried to get it to Smith, bumped out of it. Key should come up with it, runs the wing, wobbles one to half forward. Ball that hits the deck for Tex. Came off Blitzarves. Tex gave it out. Crouch couldn't do something with it. Lays the tackle on Smith. And too high, a little bit of an over-the-shoulder hole on him. It was a strange tackle. And Smith to the booze gets it at half-back because the Crows fans don't agree.
Bailey Smith. Short for O'Connor. Crowd didn't think it was 15. Umpire paid the mark. Back to Smith. Out the near side. De Koning's made the space.
Looks good, doesn't he, Bailey Smith? Looks fit.
De Koning set it up, bit over the top of Guthrie, and it's well dealt with by Worrell, who removed Manor from the contest and took the contested mark. He made it uncontested, really. Up the wing, De Koning flew, dropped the mark on the way down. Coming through Curtin, good gather. Miller guides the Crows forward, Scholes out the front. He's got 2 up ahead. He wants to get around and set them up. And he's done that well off the outside of the boot. Played it perfectly for Draper. Gives the hand pass to Dawson, who loads it up. No, strike was poor. It was always missing. A behind from the skipper. They lead by that score, the Crows.
He just got that pressure, Dawson, from the front from the Cats, which ultimately made him pull the kick to the right.
It was a 5 gamer though, Draper. He had to give it to his captain. If the captain calls, you got no choice. So Bowes gets on the end of the kick in. 50-metre kick. Bowes on the run. Heads toward close on the wing. A little bit of a flick on. No front-on contact from Miller. And Crows will come up with it. Neil Bullen. Chip kick inside. Nicely delivered to Peatling. His career with the Crows has started pretty well. He opens it up. Keys can kick the goal from 40. Lines up on the left. Drills it. Crows get their third AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and for Elders. You can rely on Elders. And our scoreboard for Host Plus, winner of CanStars, Outstanding Value Super Award for the 8th year in a row. That's a plus issued by Host Plus, proprietary limited. Check the PDS on the TMD at hostplus.com.au. 3-3-20 on the Crows. The Cats 2-2-14 and our expert for MEGT. Build a winning team. And Australia's apprenticeship experts, MEGT, Brad Johnson.
Can someone please pick up Ben Keys in the competition? This guy runs around every week. He works as hard as anyone. So I'm not downplaying that. But I don't think he still gets the respect of the opposition in terms of when they go through and have a look at we need to stop the tools. We may need to look at Isaac Rankin. Ben Keys is just rubbing his hands together going, you beauty. If I work hard, I know I'm going to get 20 to 25 in a game and kick my 2 or 3 goals week in, week out. Play a defensive role if needed. He's been outstanding, 6 disposals early.
Humphreys was on the bench. He's gone to Stan Keys, so we don't really find out who the guilty party was. Holmes out the side to Atkins. Cats come forward from the centre clearance. Off hands. Ollie Henry's favoured by it. Wanted somebody going by. Ducked back around and kicked it to Dangerfield in the channel. Once a local hero, always returns as a villain 10 years on. Well played by Ollie Henry. He really did want the runner going by. There was nobody there, and he just composed himself.
Yeah, it was an excellent turn, because if he had a turn towards goal, he wouldn't have been able to get the distance anyway with the pressure that was on his back.
Patrick Dangerfield's being deployed as a power forward from 40 out directly in front. Contact was sweet. Dangerfield's on the board. The Crows lead reduced to 1 point on the Host Plus. That's a plus scoreboard.
He flushed that one, Danger. I think like many Cats fans, I was sitting here a little bit nervous thinking this could go anywhere. But he went straight through.
Made a certainty of it, Jono. The DLFC's innovative foragers for farmers, delivering certainty through science.
Absolutely, and it was a great passage of play again from the Cats. Win centre bounce, but then Ollie Henry to turn back around, go back through the corridor and chip it nicely on his left to Dangerfield, who found some space floating down inside forward 50. That's a big finish. It's a nice kick.
Advertising works. I didn't know what DLF seeds were like a month and a half ago before they sponsored AFL Nation footy, and then I was driving last week around the burbs in downtown Geelong, and there was the DLF seeds rep van, I suppose it was, cruising around with DLF seeds on the door, and I thought, that's DLF seeds. They look after us. So it does work. Crowd pretty happy. There's a free kick in the middle. Riley O'Brien gets it.
Oh, look at them all running around him.
Hands it to Dawson, who flicks it wider. Got it to Nankervis, stumps it long. He's got Walker, got there way late. He nearly took Humphreys out. That was why Jono went, because it was the 70s.
He dropped his shoulder.
Humphreys might have been coming off on a stretcher. Ball down the spine. Keane gets there. Got it on the wing for the Crows. Dance past Atkins. Look forward. Heads out wide with his handball. So Hinge gets an opportunity to put it inside 50. He had a bounce. Runs to 60. Sends it in there now. Rankin. Almost coming. Got up there. Tex. Rankin. Got it through. Puts his hand behind his ear and says, I can't hear you. But the crowd loved that. Had it been down the hill, it might have been a bit louder. But Isaac has kicked it through, and the Crows have every answer at the moment. 4-3-27. The Cats 3-2-20 on the Host Plus. That's the plus scoreboard. 23 minutes gone. First terminal in Beck Clock.
Celebrate the goal from Isaac Rankin, but we have to go back to the middle of the ground again, and we have to really admire the development of Mark Keane and the way that he's able to playing his footy this year. He had to develop quicker last year because they didn't have Murray at the side. Murray's not in the game because he's out with injury, and this guy's standing up defensively for the Adelaide Crows. His positioning is great. He's assertive with his attack on the ball, and it worked out for the Adelaide Crows to score because of what he did at half back in turning the ball over. And then their transition from that was brilliant to a goal from Isaac Rankin.
Ball back in the middle for Maccas. A Minecraft movie meal has arrived at Maccas. Ruckman go to work. One underneath by Peatling. Took them on, got caught. Released the hand pass to Dawson. Kicks the Crows wide inside 50 over the top of Tex. Rankin's kept away from it by Mullen initially. Mullen wins the footy. Hand pass to Humphreys. Works it around to Dempsey. O'Sullivan Dempsey. Clear of the 50. Oh, he kicked it straight into Rankin. 1 metre away. Hand pass to Keys. Tees it up from 48. His kicking is as good as his hair. That's magnificent. Ben Keys with his second. The Crows busted out the double figures. 5-3-33 to Geelong. 3-2-20. 25 minutes into this opening term. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies and Elders. You can rely on Elders.
He just gets it done, Ben Keys. How good this start look now for Ben Keys with 7 disposals and 2 goals so far in the first quarter. But the Cats are only worst enemy on that occasion. They had the ball clearly. They looked like they're going to exit their defensive half of the ground. A poor kick directly to Isaac Rankin, a metre away from Dempsey. Just wasn't great as he makes his way off the ground now and jumps straight on the phone. And Ben Keys was the one who was able to capitalise again off turnover from his teammates.
Crows are running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water, back in the middle. Some danger signs here for the Cats from the restart. Stanley got a palm down. Players working on hands and knees, and Bailey Smith gets it, pumps it down the spine. Neil under it, gets a little nudge. Dangerfield under it, got a little nudge. Well, close to the boundary, and Stengel can't keep it alive, takes it across. A little bit of push and shove in front of the fans. Hinge and Stengel having a chat. Ollie Henry throwing his weight around. They are packed in, are they, the sardines at that end under the old scoreboard. Beautiful sight. Back into play. O'Brien got the knockdown, got it to Laird. Hammers it away towards the wing. O'Sullivan from 4 deep, went with a fist, knocked it to the front. Holmes got there. He's lost the boot and the run through. Humphrey's got it, just got to kick away. Did it travel to the required to Stengel? Lucky he got called, but it was 15. So he'll line up from, he gets a boo or two as well, because he was once upon a time a Crow. He gets a boo and a kick from outside the 50-metre arc by about a metre. So I might test him this range.
Bailey Smith was asking for it as well. Running behind, looking for the handball receive.
It's a lot of people to remember to boo, isn't it? Dangerfield, Stengel, the 4 umps every time they near it.
Oh, they'll remember. Adelaide Crows keep receipts for the fans. And there's the boo. Couple of skip steps from Stengel, but he pulled the kick late. He runs around to try and get a bit of momentum on the kick, and Riley O'Brien spills the mark. Banner kicks it out of the air and couldn't quite kick it around the body enough.
He was trying to fool the man on the mark there, Tyson Stengel. He didn't really go into his move with any confidence, though.
So Crows choose Laird as the target in the back pocket. He moves it quickly up the line. Fogarty pushes Blitzarves, and that's seen as a push. Having a big shove out of the contest. Blitzarves links the hand pass up to Guthrie. Inside the 50. Big pack. Neil removes his opponent. Ball spills to the side. Miller at Dangerfield mugs Saligo.
He knew it was coming, Saligo. He dropped.
Yeah.
He lowered his centre of gravity there.
I'm happy for that. I'm happy for that.
So am I, Dwayne. Yep. Looking at the replay as well, spot on.
So you want that call as play on?
Well, it's encouraging a player to put his head into a tackle that's high.
Nevitt back to full forward on the turnover. Ball off hands. Saligo gathers. Tackled legally. Hand pass to Miller. He'll dump it beyond the area. The Cats are well set. Stanley takes the mark.
I think the AFL wanted that to be play on as well. If you duck in, if you lead with your head and lower your height.
If you're the forward on that occasion, you're probably getting called play on.
I reckon the tackle was unreasonable, the big swinging arm. If Dangerfield had been a bit more subtle.
So you need to do it nicely, quietly. Sort of sneak up and go low. Myers gets the handball to Holmes. Too far out to score, maybe. I said maybe. 52 out, goal square. Ollie Henry. Well, it'll be called an uncontested mark, but there were 3 Crows around him with the bystander effect. They're all sort of looking at each other as if, I thought you were going to go. No, what, were you going to go? And none of them went. So Ollie Henry takes the mark and will kick the goal from 15 metres out. So the Cats get one back late. 2.5 minutes left in this opening term on the new tech clock, automation for manufacturing, and the scoreboard for Host Plus. That's a plus. The Crows were running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water. Cats get one back, and I think it's going to be hard to beat Texas' goal of the day, which is the first goal of the night. For Beaumont Tiles, Beaumont's for Engineers Timber. Our expert for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship expert, Brett Johnson.
Yeah, it was a beautiful kick by Holmes. Had power, so I was able to get over the top to the back of the contest where Henry was all by himself in the goal square, and Rory Laird was his opponent, but he went up to Neil thinking, this kid's going to Neil, I'll put back pressure on him, but the ball had too much carry and went over the top to Henry, all by himself, and the Cats needed that steadier.
We are here at Gather Round for Toolkit Depot. Easter sale is on now. High quality opening term. Crows by a goal. 30 minutes ticker. Poor bounce. It'll be recalled. Dawson bows the 2-12 side by side. Crouch and Holmes. Ruckman go to work. O'Brien out the back. Crouch onto it. Hand pass to Dawson. Stripped of the ball by Bowes, and then dumped him. He just went too extravagantly with the tackle. Dawson's ball delivers the Crows inside 50. Couldn't find a target. O'Sullivan left his man. Gathers on the bounce. Banks it down the wing. Dempsey had a fly. Didn't get hands to the footy though. And he's given away the free kick for the unrealistic attempt. Miller up. Out the side. Scholl tirelessly patrols the wing.
Is that unrealistic?
Yeah, once he didn't touch it. Dangerfield came from behind Dan Curvis on the steal. Hand pass inboard to Dempsey wasn't great. Back to Dangerfield in full flow. Kicked around the corner and Neil. I don't know whether he knew that was coming or not, but it was suddenly in the big man's clutches.
It was so good from Dangerfield, that entire build-up, because he turned thinking of a chance to goal, but Adelaide just had their numbers set back. The handball receive, the second one that he got, and the kick inside forward 50, the way he was able to drag that ball back to Neil was just brilliant.
Shannon Neil to level the scores from long range. It leaks right. Goes through from behind. Crows lead by 5. Did Dangerfield get that ball to go backwards?
Yes. It was amazing. He even looked at the crowd and went, did you see that?
Through Laird's hands and out of bounds, and we get a ball in. It's another one of those slow creep indicators for the umpire, the unrealistic attempt. Now it does seem like the default is if he doesn't touch it, pay the free. That's not in the rules, but it does seem as if the umpires have been told that's your cue.
Yeah.
No touch, pay the free. And it gives them an out, I suppose, and it gives us an education to watch out for that. But I wish they'd say it. I wish they'd just tell us, if you jump from mark and you don't touch it, we're going to pay that unrealistic attempt, as opposed to making us guess, because I reckon 5 years ago that wasn't an unrealistic attempt. It was a pretty good attempt. We just missed it by a couple of inches. And I want to encourage the attempts at high marks. I don't want to take the crazy high mark attempt out of the game. Hinge, half-back flank, dance past a couple. Short pass is too long a pass for Keys. Heatling makes a hard tackle and a sling tackle on Mullen. And I reckon his head did hit the deck. He's slow to get up, the Irishman, and now he's up, which is great news for Peatling and good news for football in general. He hasn't got
This one's been building the dangerous tackle. It hasn't been paid for a few weeks.
That's courage too. That's great. Laird had to make up for it. He dropped the sitter in the pocket, and that's one way of doing it, going back with the fight. It looked like Mullen's head did hit the ground, but the action wasn't great with the sling.
Laird long down the line. Guthrie from a long way back makes the spoil on Fogarty. Crouch underneath in the tackle. Dropped the footy the wrong way. He kicked it to Myers. Dangerfield's the target. Just cleared him. Oh, he'll still win it. Oh, no, he overran it at the last.
How dangerous is he?
Oh, and he throws his head back. That's the one that got away. Suddenly he was through the two defenders and the ball was there and he just couldn't quite grasp it. A ripper of a start from start to finish. The Crows 5-3-33 lead the Cats 4-4-28. Goal kickers 2 for Keys, 1 each to Curtin, Walker and Rankin. The Cats are singles. Dangerfield, Henry, Guthrie and Close. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 pies, and for Elders you can rely on Elders.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Host Plus. Host Plus, winner of CanStar's Outstanding Value Super Award for the 8th year in a row. That's a plus. Issued by Host Plus Pty Limited. Check the PDS and TND at hostplus.com.au.
When you're freezing cold or when you're boiling hot, who you gonna call? We're the world
Take advantage of the VEU government rebate and trade in your old gas heater for huge discounts on ducted reverse cycle systems, multi-splits or split systems. With solutions for every budget and all the biggest brands. For your free quote, visit weatherworld.com.au.
Who you gonna call?
Hunting for hybrid, engineered timber, laminate or vinyl flooring? Beaumont's has what you need. Shop our new range and you could pocket $5,000. That's right, 5 lucky winners, $5,000 each. Only at Beaumont's. T's and C's apply.
Toolkit Depot's Easter sale is on now. Get that project done with deals on everything you need, like top brand power tools, hand tools, outdoor gear, storage and more. Shop Easter deals in-store or online at Toolkit Depot. Seen it cheaper? We'll beat it. T's and C's apply.
Whether you're first timing, upsizing, investing, or empty nesting, if you've found the right home, MeBank has the right loan for you. With great rates and support from a local mobile banker whenever you need it, there's no better time to let me help with your next move. Search MeBank Home Loans today or reach out to your local banker to get started. Me, making money good. Credit criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
For 185 years, Elders Real Estate has been embedded in the fabric of our country. So when it's time to buy or sell in your part of Australia, you need a trusted name. Someone who knows Australian real estate like no other, who understands that it's not just a house, it's your past, it's your focus, it's your future. Someone with a network that runs deep right across Australia. There's one name you can rely on, Elders Real Estate.
Attention all people in the manufacturing sector. Hear that, chat? It's time to speak with NewTech and learn how to lower your costs and increase your machine uptime simply by using better automation products that last longer. Call NewTech and challenge them to demonstrate how they can reduce your costs. Spelled PNEUTECH. NewTech proudly create efficiency for every business they work with. newtech.com.au. That's PNEUTech.com.au.
So, Timmy reckons he's hosting lunch. Tells me to bring a roast. Roast chicken? You can't be serious. Haven't had a roasty since the day I found out about Elgina's charcoal chicken. It's crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside, and charcoal like it's dressed up just to impress you. A roast is just chicken. Charcoal chicken? Now that's a party. Timmy's life's about to change forever with Elgina, and he doesn't even know it yet.
Looking for your next fishing weapon? Bar Crusher is Australia's leading fishing boat builder. That's because Bar Crusher boats lead the industry in design excellence and quality to ensure they produce the most advanced plate aluminium fishing boats on the market. Get your ultimate fishing weapon in 2025. Find Bar Crusher boats at Bar Crusher Melbourne on Quality Drive, Dandenong. Or build your dream boat online at barcrusher.com.au.
Great Geelong moments brought to you by Ford, sharing the drive with the Cats since 1925.
Gary Ablett, long probing kick, it's home. I was there when Ablett kicked 9 in the 89 grand final, kicking his first within the first minutes. You thought, we're in for something special. Ford was there too, as they have been for 100 years.
100 years of grit and determination. 100 years of blue and white history. Ford and Geelong, sharing the drive since 1925.
You're listening to AFL Nation. Head to fntsportspromo.com.au for your chance to win $2,000 for your local sports club with 4 and 20 and Coles. And looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate.
Ball tapped against the barrier. Tex put a step on, broke clear, and kicked a stunning over. Vintage Tex brings the house down with the first goal of the other round. Up to full forward, Close has run into space. It's his ball in the left forward pocket. Whacks it at goal and gets it through. Brad Close with the Cats first.
Ruben the Pros has started pretty well. He opens it up. Keys can kick the goal from 40. Lines up on the left.
It's the Crows by 5 points at quarter time, 5-3 to 4-4. We are here at Gather Round for Toolkit Depot. Easter sale is on now. Brad Johnson, how have you seen it?
It's a fantastic start. What a first quarter. What about the first goal of Gather Round? We can't forget that as well from from Taylor Walker, but 9 goals between the two teams to open gather round has been sensational. The footy's been faster. The Cats would like to clean up their kicking efficiency. It was sitting in the 50s. By the end of the quarter, they got it to 61%. The Adelaide Crows have been a little bit cleaner at 71% by foot. They need to just keep an eye on Ben Keys, because he looks like with that first quarter of 7 disposals and 2 goals that he's away in this game, and that he can turn on 3 or 4 goals quite easily, and has done it in a half of football before. So he's the one who's out of the loop at the moment for the Adelaide Crows on transition, and through the middle of the ground. It's where Geelong need to get back on top. Bailey Smith has had a great start to the game with 9 disposals.
AFL Nation for 4 and 20 Traveller and the Elders. You can rely on Elders. Crows to the Cathedral end in this second term. Stanley gets it going the Cats' way. Dawson took it. Holmes took him. Ran him a long way backwards before the umpire whistles. Crows near half. Cats near half forwards. O'Brien slaps it Adelaide's way. Bailey Smith had first access, left it behind. Keys a hand pass off the ground. Dawson out in front of Rankin, cutting the angles. Blitzarves tackled by Walker, and it'll be balled up. Still inside the centre square. Ruckman disentangle. Atkins rode the tap though. Cats up to half forward, bouncing ball. Miller has got clean access. Runs onto the loose footy. Sharp hand pass to Laird. Sharp to Michael Annie. Coughed it up. Close in the way. Gives it away to Atkins. Holmes and now Bailey Smith. Pumps the Cats to a 1-on-1. Dangerfield and Worrell. It clears them off hands. Free kick. Worrell took hold of Dangerfield. Here's how the umpire saw it.
It's a big contest. A big win by Dangerfield. In the end, arm was over the shoulder, so the free kick was there against the Adelaide Crows. Bailey Smith had to widen his vision. He had Dempsey all by himself out on the wing. He went to the 1-on-1, which is understandable with Dangerfield, of course, and they get the luck of the free kick here. But this needs to widen his vision a little bit to help execute with the Cats going forward.
Angle a little to the right. Not a lot to speak of, though. Mark set 30 out from goal. Patrick Dangerfield on the runway. One set shot that he nailed in the opening term. His second set shot is at the right-hand post. It's the wrong side of it.
Nice kick, though, again from Danger. He's not going to lose any confidence, or Cats fans shouldn't lose faith with that kick. He had just missed to the right, but it was still a nice hit from Danger.
And they didn't boo the replay for Makita XGT 40-volt max, the Crows fans. So that's when you know it was a free. Kick is pretty good to coming. Chips around his body to Neil Bull, and a couple of new recruits combined to get it to the wing. Now Tex at half forward. Big fist to Koning. Put it into danger territory. Soligo, did he get a kick away? Umpire said it was legal, whatever he did. Smith kicks back to half forward. Crows with the numbers. Dangerfield got their lane. Big fist. Umpire said too high, and they're all coming at Danger. Umpire says play on. Ball inside to Rankin. It goes all the way back to the opposite back flank. The runner out there for the Crows is Michael Annie. Dawson had his chance and missed it. Mops up his best, gets it, and then buys himself some time. Hit the pause button, got around Myers, and blasted inside 50 to Tex. Takes it on the chest in front of Blitzarves, who didn't read it as well.
He's one for the Cats that needs to get going. Brian Myers close as well, so they're half forward. Stengel, they're not having any impact in the game so far, and we know how good they are at connecting for the Cats with their transition with the ball. Even defensively, Myers is usually pretty strong on the tackle and stopping the opposition. He just let Dawson step around him with ease.
So Tex, 45-degree angle, and from 50 metres out, kicking into the packed hill at the Cathedral end. You'll hear the roar if he gets it. There was a wobbler, a helicopter off the boot, and they're behind. Crows could be a little further in front. 5-4 to 4-5. 4 minutes gone, second term on the UTEC clock.
Tex has 1 goal too. Guthrie kicks in for the Cats. He brought it in long. Neal arrived, dropped the mark. De Koning though roved. Cats get it to halfway. Miller favoured by the kick. Stengel had gone rushing out the back. Left Miller unmarked. He's going to be expansive with his switch through Worrell. Defensive 50. And the next target does open up as Rankin's run into space on the wing. Guides it up to O'Brien. Dempsey did well to make the spoil. Coming though is underneath. Checks the kick on the 45. That's the one. Vasiligo. He'll roll and look at the deep forwards. He didn't make sweet contact and it landed in the arms of Keys. On the Fogarty. Through Trigger. Out of the grounds. Crows are the first of the second term. The lead grows to 11 points. Made Internet Mobile scoreboard 6-4, plays 4-5.
Well, the things you notice, Dwayne, and it was Isaac Rankin on that occasion, he's on the outer side of the ground when they start this ball transition, and he ends up marking it on centre wing, and then he starts the next lot of chain that gets to coming, and through he goes.
Cameron chase Rankin.
No, but that's part of it, isn't it?
You let Rankin go thinking they won't kick it to him. I'll guard the corridor. So if you're prepared to use your legs to get wide, and as a kicker you're prepared to honour the width, you're going to have that kick. I reckon the Cats give you the width.
And it opened it up. And it opened up because what they're able to do then is reel back corridor. And look, the kick wasn't great from Saligo, but Ben Keys again with that ability to just to catch a horrid ball coming inside forward 50 and play on immediately.
O'Brien and Stanley go at it in the middle in the contest. Good second effort, but Cats had two players around it. They still don't get the clearance. Peatling got it towards half forward. Blitzarves gets there. Quickly tackled. Cumming having some good minutes here. Finds Fogarty, lays out 45 out and a 45-degree angle, and you can just about put it ball in his hand anytime you like, from anywhere you like, and he's a chance to kick it. Doesn't matter where he is. He's that good a kick. So Darcy Fogarty, little hush out the Adelaide Oval as he waits. Now the walk in. Couple of skip steps. Now the launch from 49 looks pretty good. Yeah, put it in the book. As good as it gets. It's a beautiful action, and it's good to have reliable forwards like that. Some teams just don't have them. He's got a couple, and the Crows are a couple in front for Mate Internet and Mobile. Mate Internet and Mobile save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use the promo code MATE30 at checkout. Crows 7-4. Cats 4-5, and we've played on the new tech clock automation for manufacturing 6.5 minutes into this second term. Our expert for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts, Brad Johnson.
Yeah, just have a look at the replay. Blitzarves with the cough up out of the tackle from Tex Walker from behind. Coming again, was in the right position at the right time. Fogarty on a strong lead from 20 metres out. Went back and nailed it. The three forwards for the Crows. Something, I know they've started this season so well, but I don't want to say the word premiership trio, Gerard, but it's got that written all over it at the moment. They are so strong in that forward half of the ground.
Stanley wins the tap in the middle. Bailey Smith gives it to his ruckman, and Stanley delivers the Cats inside 50. No mark. Ollie Henry was grabbed at the back of that pack, and I fancy that's what the umpire saw. Worrell can protest all he like, but the replay is there. He just drags him down by the shoulder completely unnecessarily. Had been stone cold in the first term, didn't touch it. He's had three hugely influential touches and is running hot for Ream, Australia's favourite hot water.
The inclusions of Cumming, Neil Bullen and Peatling have been quite significant for the Adelaide Crows in the first part of the season.
Ollie Henry from 48 metres. Terrible kicking. I just think he's a ruckman. Dempsey has a leap at it in the pocket, but he's been paid the mark from behind. Crows are bluing four of them around. If there was still dissent, he'd be on the goal line.
Yes, that's a great call.
Arms everywhere, down on their haunches.
Remember the uproar around dissent?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even if you winked at them, sometimes you go for 50.
Oh, no, that's not a mark.
No, he came from behind.
That's not a mark.
That's a stinker.
Not a
Dempsey curls it through for a goal. And the Crows fans who believe in conspiracy, well, you can hear who they are. That's a stinker.
They've got reason, though. This is the issue here, isn't it? They have reason, this football club, because you're right. Last week, a couple of stinkers. Another one now where this was clearly the man in front who had first purchase on the ball. Shocking kick from Henry.
Rivals Laddams from the other day, doesn't it?
Wow.
It's just awful.
Isn't it? You're right. That's the best way to describe it. It is. It's awful. With 4 umpires out in the ground, that's an awful decision.
In the 12s, you'd be disappointed if that was paid.
Yeah.
7-4-46 the Crows, 5-5-35 the Cats, the Made Internet and Mobile scoreboard.
They wouldn't want to lose by under a goal again, would they?
We'll have to get a sponsor for umpire stinkers. We get a few of them.
Yeah.
Got to sell that space. Ball up in the middle. Crouch on the run. They might get the instant reply. Crouch to Peatling. Drives it long. And out the back. Returning.
I think the umpire thought I better not pay 50 here as well.
Heads out wide. Well, maybe that's why they didn't pay the 50 for dissent. O'Brien marks it, gave it to Fogarty, and he marks it in the pocket, 50 out. He couldn't double whammy it by paying dissent after paying that howler. So Fogarty's outside the boundary, 50 out. But again, he doesn't really care where he is. He backs himself in. He's a great kick. He's confident. He always makes you believe that he's going to get it. And if the footy gods are here, this will sail through. There's the instant reply. Struck it to the near side. It's only a behind and has squeezed in for behind. On the Mate Internet and Mobile scoreboard, second term. And it's 35-47 Crows lead.
Blitzarms was the target of the kick-in through the defensive 50, up to Dempsey, knocked away by Fogarty, who cut the angles. Right in front of the Fonk sign in the crowd.
It's pretty inspirational when you have your key forwards retreating to defend the ground and support with that.
Still going.
Still going.
On the outer wing. To the front where Saligo got it to his boots. It wobbles up to half forward. O'Connor comes out, dumped in the tackle. Ball up. Sid Draper doing the heavy work. Are we booing a particular umpire?
Yeah,
or we just booing every umpire that goes there? O'Brien to Crouch, ducked his head, ran straight into the tackle. Off to Peatling, up to Laird, inside the 50. Milling pack. Walker disrupted it, ball falls. Bowes tidies up for the Cats, put it through to Koning, who got dumped. Bailey Smith works it up the line, and they let the advantage stand on a straight turnover. Mount Curvis, footy in hand, goes back with the Keen. Crowd's doing their own umpiring and everything that happens now.
But that was brilliant by Manor.
So kick down the spine, and Connor made the ground and put the body and soul into it to take the mark. Gave it to Holmes. He kicks out wide to the running Dempsey. If it bounces, he's away. It bounced. He's away. He ducked around one, went to Nevitt. Top of the 50. Umpire said it wasn't a crime. Oh, my goodness. Are they saving the good ones for tomorrow night, the umpires, are they?
That was clearly... That was one where I actually went, that's 15. That was clearly 15.
There we go on this game of ours. Ball knocked out towards Laird. He gave it back to Crouch. He gave it back further to the runner Michaelani. He sends it wide to the wing, and the big fist dumps it out.
I actually have been a fan of that change. I really have. But that was just clearly wrong again from the umpires.
Every umpire on the list is here. Couldn't bring him in at half time, could we?
Well,
just find a better crew.
Well, if it was a footy team, you'd show them the vision at half time and say, this isn't good enough, boys. You better pull your socks up in the second half.
Holmes, Nevitt, Atkins on the wing for the Cats. Backward to Holmes. Kicks inside 50. Cameron's a little out of position. He made some sort of contest. Worrell knocked off it underneath. Somersault done by Henry. Crows get out of a jam. Draper is the dasher to Saligo, who's hot. Cannoned into by Bowes. Oh, they paid a push in the back.
And 50. Let's have a look here, Gerard, because I thought it was just a tackle. It's just a tackle. Again, the Cats have been hard done by here. Draper's got to be careful. He's set.
Do you know what? They might have paid the Rankin free kick there, you know. Judged it as a marking contest and paid interference in the marking contest rather than pushing the back.
No, because it was a handball.
That might be the correct...
it was a handball over the top.
Just dumb stuff.
Saligo goes long. Tech stayed down, nearly crumbed it. Fogarty on hands and knees. Top of the goal
but
square.
Out of all that too, Draper has to be so careful because he did the lollipop handball wanting the 1-2 and he set his teammate up. You just can't do that at AFL level.
So from the ball up, good spot for a ball up for the Crows. Draper, dumped, got a kick away just in time. Ball fill to O'Connor, to Koning. Bowes hammers it out of the area. It'll be coming back. Miller takes the mark. 80 from goal, turns and goes. Thought about a handball. He drills a pass. Well, Keys waited for it. No, it wasn't Keys, it was Scholl. Waited for it. Came to Bowes, gave it to O'Sullivan. Kick half smothered to Ricochet. Tackle late on Nankervis. Went back to Cumming and another decisive possession to Fogarty. And Fogarty will line up a goal from 45 out. Fan base is really being vocal tonight, the Adelaide Crows, and you've got to love it. I mean, they are having an impact. I reckon the umpires are really concerned every time they have to make a decision. And at the moment, they're under the microscope as much as the players. And the Crows are threatening to blow this margin out at the moment. They lead by a couple of goals, 7-5 to 5-5. Fogarty, they lead by 3. The ever-reliable Darcy Fogarty has 3. And they lead by the Fogs trio of goals, 5-5 to 8-5 on the Mate Internet and mobile scoreboard. And the replay shows how good a kick that was from their new recruit, Isaac Cumming. The replay for Makita XGT. More power, more efficiency, more Makita. The score for Mate Internet and mobile, the clock for Newtech Automation for manufacturing. We're 16 minutes into the second. Here's Brad Johnson.
Well, one of the keys, when we've spoken about this a couple of times, and we'll bang on a little bit about it throughout the night, is uncontested marks for the Cats. And they've only had 3 so far in this second term, where the Adelaide Crows have had 17. So they've been able to really control the ball and control it in the right parts of the ground and really push up on the Cats to not allow them to chip the ball. They're booting the ball out of defence. They're having to go long down the wings. They're not using the ball short at all at the moment with the way the Adelaide Crows are setting up. But most importantly, off defence, they're scoring when going into attack.
Crows 3 goals to 1 in this term to lead by 18. Stanley reached up, won the tap. Phil Thorpe, though, gets in, wins the footy. Turns and kicks the Crows to half forward. Bouncing ball well gathered by Walker, who dropped the pursuers. He takes the long range shot. He's on, he's on, he's on. Tex with a second beauty. And the Crows are out by 24 points. That's old school text on the Makita XGT replay screen. More power, more efficiency, more Makita.
That was so good, wasn't it? And he assessed the whole situation. He was looking for the runner. They didn't arrive. He had a player out wide. Thought, no, that's not the right option here. Open goal square. And just hits it nicely. Lands it a metre out. Bounces through easily.
Look at the numbers there, John. Are they kicking more the Crows than the Cats are?
Kicks in this game, yes, 89 to 49. 89 kicks, 49 handballs. Yeah. Cats are 75-54, so that is a kicking game by both teams.
Yeah, I think the Crows are just having one less handball and actually getting it on the boot. That was brilliant from Phil Thorpe then. So from the ball up, Stanley goes alone. Dangerfield, manhandled. He's over the ball, but Dawson worried him out of it. Rankin dives in, Crouch dives in. Bailey Smith dives in. Rankin might get the clearance here. Draper's wrapped up by Atkins. And Rankin still might get the clearance. He's wrapped up by Dangerfield. And he got a kick away whilst he was on the ground. Smith scrambles it. Phil Thorpe thumps it. It's still in the centre square, by the way. Blitzards gave it off all the way back to Humphreys. Goes back to half-back. Scrambling kick to the wing. Scholl overran it. Couldn't pick it up. Scholl might pick it up now. Gave it to Crouch. And now a decisive kick. A roller to Fogarty. Wrapped up in the tackle. Threw it away. Crowd wanted holding the man. Cats fans you probably couldn't hear. Probably thought that was holding the ball. Ball felt a roll. Gave it back. Nankervis. Chip kick. Got it back to the wing. And Dawson about to send the Crows into attack.
He plays it wide. Fogarty's his target. He's been the hot hand this quarter. Underneath Neil Bullen. Lovely kick inboard. And Keys again has found space.
He finds it, Gerard, because everyone's attracted to either Fogarty or Tex Walker at the moment because both key forwards are on fire. So they're trying to support the contest in the air and bring it to ground. The Adelaide Crows are outworking them. They've got numbers everywhere. But once again, it's Ben Keys who finds plenty of space to be hit up for the Adelaide Crows.
Kicking for a 5-goal lead. Approaching time on of the second term. Ben Keys through the 50. Full momentum. Left foot drop punt. He's got his third. Crows dominating the second term. And they kick it out to 30 points. 10-5, 65 to Geelong. 5-5, 35. And Humphreys is his man. And just in the goal square as he went through, he's knows he's getting done tonight.
Well, he is. Ben Keys up to 11 goals in the season now with his 3 tonight so far. Fogarty's got the 3. Fogarty's got the 3, sorry, and Walker's got the 2. So it's a great combination. Phil Thorpe's the only one. He's only got the one behind tonight, but he's playing C. He was playing second ruck for the last 5 minutes. He goes deep goal square now with his opportunity with the Crows on fire to get in a position to hit the scoreboard.
Cats in a hole now.
Danger back into the middle. They're trying to wrestle things back in the centre.
Just side by side with him. O'Brien knocks it down. Now the Cats, well, they all stopped. It was a Crows free. No one really knew who the free was for. Jordan Dawson got a kick inside 50. 2 Cats spoil it. Sport to Peatling, 60 out. Gets a handball wide to Keys' feet. Has to try and scurry for it. Used his body nicely. Flicks the handball to Draper. Good fake. Twist and turn was nice. On the way back to Peatling, 50 from goal. Pulls the kick, top of the goal square. Good mark taken in defence by Bowes. He was filling the hole, top of the defensive goal square, and should relieve the pressure. But the Cats are under a heap of it. Pressure that is 10-5 to 5-5 as we tick into time on second term.
Connor as the outlet. He thumps it long down the line. Henry's coming one way, got up high. Underneath was Namkurvis who created the play. Still has ball in hand, ran into a bit of a dead end. Hand pass for Crouch. He fights the fight, but Atkins wins the footy. Off to Cameron, up to Myers, on to Stengel. Puts the step on to open up the possibilities, and Dangerfield's out the back. Kick's got the carry to reach him. He gets pounded front on by Keane as well. And Dangerfield at full forward will go back and take the shot at goal.
The only forward that's working at the moment for the Cats is Patrick Dangerfield inside forward 50, 1 goal 1. Come up for disposal number 7, but he's the only one that's showing any power and strength in that part of the ground. Jeremy Cameron hasn't really got near it tonight. Only the 5 disposals, 1 in this second quarter alone as their second key forward. Neil is the other one who just hasn't looked likely tonight. Only 2 disposals.
Hasn't had a massive year yet, Joe Neil.
No. Cats need it desperately against the flow. Dangerfield's close in, right through the middle. The captain has his second, and the margin back to 24 points. 6-5-41, Geelong trailing Adelaide 10-5-65 on the main internet and mobile scoreboard.
It was a good build-up here by the Cats. Their midfield has to lift, and they're throwing Dangerfield in there to try and help that occur, but Holmes needs to get on the bike. He's still finding a little bit of ball, but it's all back half ball, obviously trying to get back into defence. There's nothing breaking through the lines at the moment from a Geelong point of view. Bailey Smith's trying to do it, but they're being outplayed in the middle of the ground by the Adelaide Crows, who are getting a more effective and deeper entries inside their forward 50. So there's a bit to assess here for the Cats in the back half of this second quarter. The biggest thing is just try and restrict and not allow the Adelaide Crows to score at all and have this margin really blow out.
Big few minutes coming up to half time, especially for the Cats, if they can get some momentum back their way. And Stanley knocks it a little bit further forward. Rankin's with him, Stanley with him. Rankin overran it, close went and picked it up. Found some room where there wasn't a lot, flicked the handball out wide. Rankin now tried to pounce, but Atkins went and picked his pocket. Kissed the handball over the top. Comes out towards Neil. Just said he wasn't having a big night, and he slots it. He gets it through. Cats get 2 within 30 seconds. About 3 minutes ago, they were thinking of booking the late flight out. But they're back in the game with 5 minutes left to half-time. And the silence tells you the story more than I can.
Is it a bit cute by Rankin? He had the ball in his possession and just tried something a little fancy and turned it over.
And that's what can happen when you've got a little bit of a margin in the game. What's got him to this position is the disciplines. But it was the Cats midfield that actually allowed them to really continue to push this ball forward. Atkins was involved. Holmes was actively involved as well. Close was pretty strong in the contest, but it was a smart tap on from Stengel over to Neal to keep the ball alive as well. So Shannon Neal kicks his first for the game.
3-goal deficits.
That's manageable. 3 goals is manageable at the moment.
So red time goals for the Cats. So Brian wins the tap in the middle. Bailey Smith first access. Tosses it up to half forward. Crows were well set. Michael Annie dropped the mark though. And then Hinge's hand pass has been knocked away. Whistle, free kick going Adelaide's way to Hinge. So Hinge with footy in hand. Not a whole lot to work with. So he steers boundary side for Cumming.
It's a beautiful kick, Hinge, isn't he? That left foot. He's confident with it.
Crows just looking to reassert some tempo into this, having conceded a couple. Backward to Dan Curvis, kicks it out on the full. Not out of the full. Neil Bullock brings it into Cumming. Kicks the Crows up inside the 50. They've got 2-on-1. Tex used the body, got rid of Blitzarves, takes the mark. And he's going to have the long-range shot.
So he should.
No, he's not. He's going to steer the pass to Fogarty, not 15. Wheels onto the right for 4 in the term. The fog has descended on Adelaide Oval, and he has shaped the game to his will. 24-point leaders again as they put up their 11th of the game.
What a finish from Fogarty. He knew that it was going to be called play on. The Tex Walker kick, I thought, was right on the limit. Once again, could have easily been paid. Umpire called play on. But it was like he knew that because he'd rolled. As soon as he marked the ball, he was off. And he caught the Cats' defence off guard again, who were trailing in behind. They weren't able to slow him down. It was a beautiful... Well, he kicked the drop punt around the corner. It was executed perfectly.
Four for Fogarty, 3 for Keys, 2 for Walker.
It's great, isn't it? That combination.
They're the real deal, Adelaide. They are the real deal.
Sure are, Dwayne.
So only a couple of minutes to half-time. And the ball in the middle. Dangerous time for the Cats here. Putting the flick down. Peatling scrambles, runs away. Campbell a little overzealous. Royal had to go back and get it. Dangerfield tries to hunt him down, handball back to Peatling, paddles to his own advantage, and he's wrapped up by Dempsey, had his pocket picked and taken out of play on the wing. So 4 minutes left to half-time on the New Tech clock. New Tech automation for manufacturing, AFL Nation for the 4-20 Traveller, and the score 47-71. Crows are 11-5-71, Cats 7-5-47.
O'Brien, clean tap. Dawson, he was going to kick. He tried to hand pass, didn't pan out. Peatling, though, goes and gets it. Wins it off to Rankin, up to O'Brien. Tackled by Manor, lost the footy, got it back. Gives it to Dawson. The goal front is unattended, but he's missed to the left. Crows by 25.
3.5 minutes left to half-time. A spare seat in the house. Chip kick is good from Guthrie to Myers, but he's had to come down to the back pocket to get a touch. He's not quite going to plan for the Cats. He wants to switch. He's hunted down by Thilthorpe. Dangerous kick, horrible kick. Perfect kick if you're the Crows because they've picked it off and they give it back to him. That was bizarre. So now they're out the Cats. Smith, a dance step, about to be hunted down. Gave the handball wide. Gave it to De Koning. Wheels around and thumps it. He's got Ollie Henry up high. Can't mark it. Off hands. Ball falls towards Stengel. He hasn't done a lot tonight yet. Gave it back to Myers. Hasn't done a lot tonight yet. Henry gave it back off. Chance for Nevitt to have an impact. Goes inside 50 to Neal. He's marked that. In fact, it's Cameron who's marked it. About 40 out. So Cameron the line out. Up 40 out. And very kickable by his standards. With 2.5 minutes left.
Had to think about it. Thought about the snap. Now going back to set up for the traditional drop punt.
I'll work out Jeremy Cameron's season. He has those 5 or 6 minute patches where you think he's the best player in the game. And you don't see him for 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I wonder where he's gone. He lines up, and that's offline. It's only over behind.
It was a different run-up to what we'd traditionally seen with Jeremy Cameron. So that probably sums it up enough, Dwayne, to where he's sort of at and what he's thinking about on field at the moment.
Do you mind? Gout's about to run the 100.
Oh, you want to call it?
I just want to watch it. Is that all right?
No, I'll call the footy. You watch the run.
He might break 10 seconds.
Well, you jump in. Anytime you want to jump in, you are an Olympic expert and our Olympic caller. Ball comes out wide to Crouch.
Oh, he missed the start badly. He'll be all right, but that's probably going to cost him the 10.
Is he coming home?
Well, he's away and gone. It's all about the time.
Has he got it?
999.
Oh, he's done it.
Official?
Wow.
Is it official? He blew the start and still broke 10.
The last 20 was ridiculous.
When was the last time someone in Australia ran 999? So I'll call the footy here. Gerard's going to wait for the official time. Ball towards half forward for the Cats, but Keane cuts it off. Goes out wide to Keys. We're only a minute and a half away from half-time. Rolling ball out wide. Mad scramble. Keys went off the deck with a toe poke, and it rolls out of play. The umpire says toss it in. And Gerard's just having a rewatch of Gout, and his last 20 was ridiculous.
So it's all about wind assistance at this stage, but as he crossed the line, he looked inboard and he saw 999 and he ran another 100 metres to 8.
I think his celebratory 100 was quicker than his first 30. Now ball into play on the wing from the scramble. Cass trying to get numbers around it. Bowes was there, couldn't get it away. Dawson for the Crows had his kick smothered. He's still in there and the umpire calls for another ball up. We're down to 1:20 left in the second term.
72 plays 48. Stanley tapped to Nevitz. Got the ball up the line. Keane is off his man. Neil arrives late on the spoil. Myers off the turf. Up to Cameron. It'll be a good moment for Jesse. Pulls it inboard for Stengel. Just missed him. Stengel gathers the footy. They swarm him. Stood in the tackle. Off to Dempsey. Linked it up to Bowes. Trickled it home for a goal. Cats close again to 18 points. And a long quarter. Their key goals, aren't they?
They have been for the Catters. To be able to kick these red time goals have been so important because they go in at half time potentially only 3 goals down when they've been absolutely outplayed in this second term by the Adelaide Crows. Just kept it alive there, Stengel. He looked done and gone.
Yeah, he
just
made the
flipped
wrong
it out
decision
nicely.
earlier. Yeah, and then he took them on. So seconds away, Gerard's about to tell you whether the 9-9 is going to stand 999.
No, it's wind assisted. 2.6.
Wow.
Unlucky.
If he had got the start too, it could have been, anything.
God, if he gets the start.
Yeah. You're going to have to get someone to have a word to him about the start.
He's got 7 years to figure it out, Dwayne.
Ball in the middle. O'Brien had it, lost it. Bowes about to get the clearance. Gave it up to Holmes. Seconds remaining in the half. Long. Cameron! He really had to motor to get there, and he got there 40 metres, 45 metres directly out. There's 30 seconds left in the half, and this would be huge for the Cats if they go in just 2 goals down.
He's got to think about this now. He's got to think about his run-up. Make sure his routine is spot on. It's a massive kick for the Cats.
Mate, internet and mobile scoreboard. It's 11-6 to 8-6 as it stands. With the Cameron kick to come, 15 seconds left. In he runs, drop punt, looks pretty good. It is there. And the Cats are alive and well. Approaching half-time at the Adelaide Oval in the opening game of Gather Round. AFL Nation for Elders. You can rely on Elders. And for 4 and 20, the Traveller from 4 and 20. And the score for Mate, Internet and Mobile. Great to have Mate Internet and Mobile on board. Save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use the promo code MATE30 at checkout. Our expert from MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship experts, Brad Johnson.
Count was around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse. Book your flu shot with Chemist Warehouse today.
It's been a great response by the Cats. They were done in terms of this quarter, but to get themselves back to a margin now of 12 points at half time has been huge. And you got to tip your hat to the midfielders who have really had to dig in the last 5 minutes, turn the game back in their favour, and won some really important contests.
Bounce back in the middle, dying seconds of the half. Free kick Geelong's way. Is there time to make anything of it? Dangerfield's ball. Don't think there is. No, there's not. 12-point margin the Crows' way after they got it out to 30 points late in the term. 11,672 Adelaide. Just collapsed all the scoreboards. What is it?
9,660, 11,672, 9,660.
Rightio. Well done, because that score is not even close.
Thank God for the old scoreboard that's still up here.
Yes, the old
one has saved us.
Right you are. Goal kickers, 4 to Fogarty, 3 to Keys, 2 to Walker, 1 each to Curtin and Rankin. For the Cats, 2 to Dangerfield with singles to Cameron, Bowes, Dempsey, Neal, Henry, Guthrie and Close. Just give us a quick word and we'll be more expansive after the break.
It was the powerful Crows and then it was a gritty Geelong. And that's what it was in that second term. Cats will fix things up at half-time, but the Crows look just so powerful in that first half of footy.
All right, full thoughts of Brad Johnson coming up. It's the Crows by 12 points. AFL Nation for the 4 and 20 Traveller and Elders. You can rely on Elders.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for Mate Internet and Mobile. Save $180 over 6 months with Mate Internet. Use promo code MATE30 at checkout.
Now at Harvey Norman, enjoy 10% off selected AEG kitchen appliances plus 10-year manufacturer's warranty. That's right, upgrade to premium AEG kitchen appliances and save 10% off selected AEG pyrolytic ovens and induction cooktops plus 10 years warranty, or 10% off selected AEG integrated range hoods and dishwashers and a 10-year warranty. Experience the premium AEG kitchen range with this amazing offer for a limited time only at Harvey Norman. Best brands, best range, best prices guaranteed. Conditions and exclusions apply.
ESPN now streaming on Disney+. Stream the latest and greatest of NBA, UFC, MLB, NHL, WNBA and more.
Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Cheer on.
Ohtani, the greatest day!
Party on.
Oh, Edwards, it's showtime. Room service.
Dream on. One destination for a new generation of streaming. ESPN on Disney+.
The long wait is over.
Turn it on.
Kicking off a project. What you gonna do? So many moving parts and only one of you. Why don't you just go say, every project sing? Yeah, make it sing. It's coats in your corner. Make sure you're looking for anything. Why don't you just go say?
Visit coats.com.au.
Some energy providers treat you just like another number. At Sumo, we reckon a proper welcome should mean more than just a bill in the mail. So, when you switch to Sumo, using promo code LOCAL, you won't just get a real local service. You'll also go in the draw every month until May to win $1,000 off your annual energy bill. Sumo. Energy as local as a sunburnt singlet tan. T's and C's apply. Competition ends April 30, 2025.
When you're freezing cold or when you're boiling hot, who you gonna call? We're the world.
Take advantage of the VEU government rebate and trade in your old gas heater for huge discounts on ducted reverse cycle systems, multi-splits or split systems.
Our service is professional. Prices are unbeatable. We're the biggest and the best, and we do it all for less. So who you gonna call? We're the world.
For your free quote, visit weatherworld.com.au.
Macca's enters the Minecraft universe with the new A Minecraft Movie Meal. Get one of 6 collectibles including Grimace Egg and Zombie Hamburglar with your choice of a Big Mac or 10-piece Chicken McNuggets with new Nether Flame sauce. At participating restaurants for a limited time. A Minecraft Movie only in cinemas.
G'day, it's the Ox. If you have a family member, friend or work colleague struggling with addiction and you don't know what to do, call Cheryl at MyHab on 1300 190 370. She'll answer every question you have and find the right path to recovery. See myhab.com.au.
At CommBank, we're proud backers of Melbourne's business yakka. No matter what business you're in or what size your ambition, we've got the tools, tips and tech to keep you kicking financial goals. Whether you need cash flow support, to buy new equipment or take payments in person or online, we're here to keep Melbourne business moving. So talk to one of our local specialists today. Search CommBank Business.
Great Geelong moments brought to you by Ford, sharing the drive with the Cats since 1925.
Geelong are the premiers for 2007.
I was there when Geelong broke their premiership drought of 44 years in 2007. So many good stories. The Ablett family, Selwood's first year, the list goes on. Ford was there too, as they have been for 100 years.
100 years of grit and determination. 100 years of blue and white history. Ford and Geelong, sharing the drive since 1925.
You're listening to AFL Nation. Head to fntsportspromo.com.au for your chance to win $2,000 for your local sports club with 4 and 20 and Coles. And looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate. Macca's. I'm loving it moments. The hot honey range has dropped at Macca's.
He'll roll and look at the deep forwards. He didn't make sweet contact and it landed in the arms of Keys on the Fogarty through for a goal. Forward bouncing ball well gathered by Walker, who dropped the pursuers. He takes the long range shot. He's on.
Kicks the handball over the top. Comes out towards Neil. Just said he wasn't having a big night, and he slots it. He gets it through. Cats get 2 within 30 seconds. 3 minutes to go. They were thinking of booking the late flight out, but they're back in the game. Welcome back to AFL Nation for Elders and for Australian Agriculture recruiting now. And for 4 and 20 Pies, we're here at Gather Round for the Tool Kit Depot. Their Easter sale is on now at the Tool Kit Depot. It's time for the halftime floor show for Choices Flooring. Quality interior start from a Choices Floor. Great to have Choices Flooring involved.
The Halftime Floor Show for Choices Flooring. Inspire and visualise with Room View, our instant room visualiser.
Half-time, the Adelaide Crows lead 11 goals, 672 to the Cats 9-6-60. Let's go through a few of our categories with Brad Johnson. Brad, what was the unmissable moment for drink-wise? I asked, knowing what your answer's going to be. You won't miss a moment if you drink-wise.
It's the Tex Walker tweak. That's what we love. He tweaks the Sharon like no one I've ever seen, Dwayne. Amazing first goal of the game. And what a way to start Gather Round. How up and about were we, Dwayne, after that goal?
What was the crucial moment of the first half? A new farm. Australia is through and through. New farm.
Shannon Neal kicking a nice goal. The umpiring decision to allow Dempsey to kick his goal was crucial because once again it's cost the Adelaide Crows 6 points due to an error.
The breakout player of the first half for Australian Outdoor Living, bringing backyard dreams to life. Australian Outdoor Living.
Darcy Fogarty, give him a big rap. 4 goals, 1. How good does he look? His maturity's gone through the roof. He's big and strong and he's just done it all. He's even been able to get the media hype this week, Dwayne, and still perform on the field. Where in the past he'd have the media hype and not perform, and now he's just matured to an excellent player in the comp.
Around the grounds, if you didn't know, earlier on tonight, Gout ran a 9.99, but then it was then wind assisted, so it wasn't under 10 in the end. But around the grounds for Chemist Warehouse, get discounted prescriptions and save more money at Chemist Warehouse.
Do you get an official time then, Dwayne? If it's wind assisted, 9.99 wind assisted, is it then brought back to like a 10.1?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And that'll be the official time. But he'll know in his own mind he ran 9.99. I mean, you'll never take that out of your own head.
And that's the barrier, isn't it?
Yeah.
Being able to do it twice in the semi and in the final.
Yeah, and it's a scary thing that he might get better.
Yeah.
Because his starts can be improved on. So
that's right.
Now it's a beautiful world we're living in when Gout's going to be on the world stage for us for the next couple of years, 7 or 8 years maybe. Who's the leading power play rankings player for Red Energy for 100% Australian electricity and gas? Red Energy.
This was a little bit of a surprise, but Max Holmes is leading the way with 86 ranking points at the moment. Fogarty was 72 with his goals. Bailey Smith, plenty of balls, 64. Then you go Ben Keys, 60. Walker, 59. And Mark Kane as a key defender, 57.
Our toughest player of the first half for Truckline. Truckline, keep your truck on the move with Truckline.
Toughest player has been Patrick Dangerfield. This guy just does not hold back, and the way that he plays, and he's strong in the contest, and once again he's been able to do that, and he's been the Cats' best player in the first half.
Our tackler of the first half for Bar Crusher Boats, Australia's ultimate fishing weapon.
It's not a high tackling game. 20 tackles for the Cats, 16 for the Adelaide Crows. So you have to go to Danger, who's had 4. So he's leading the way in terms of what they're doing on offence, but also with his pressure as well around the footy.
And our flexible player that we could see move this game in their direction in the second half, Flexold, the only flexible oral lice treatment for sheep.
Well, I was leaning towards Danger again because of the flexibility and positioning, but I think we have to go to Jeremy Cameron because he got going late in that second term, had a couple of shots at goal, kicked a ripper with 20 seconds to go in the second quarter. So I think it's Jeremy Cameron who can have a big say in this second half.
So half-time here at the Adelaide Oval, packed house to start gather round in the Adelaide Crows lead 11-6-72 to the Cats 9-6-60. That was the Choices Flooring half-time floor show. Inspire and visualise with Room View, our instant room visualiser, thanks to Choices Flooring. As we go to the break, let's hear the goal of the first half for Beaumont's Tiles. Beaumont's for Engineered Timber. Engineered Timber you can get at Beaumont's Tiles. Second half to come on AFL Nation.
The goal of the day for Beaumont's Tiles. Some 50% off. Discounts ending soon.
Bobby released the footy. It's came through Saligo up to Peatling. Bouncing ball trapped against the boundary. Tex put a step on. Broke clear and picked a stunning over. Vintage Tex brings the house down with the first goal of the other round.
You're listening to AFL Nation. Head to fntsportspromo.com.au for your chance to win $2,000 for your local sports club with 4 and 20 and Coles. And looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate.
The new Minecraft Movie Happy Meal has arrived at Macca's. Collect all 12 toys and build your universe. It's fun for the whole family, only at Macca's. Available 10:30am till midnight while stocks last for a limited time only. A Minecraft movie only in cinemas.
ESPN now streaming on Disney+. Stream the latest and greatest of NBA, UFC, MLB, NHL, WNBA and more.
Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Cheer on.
Oh, Tony! The greatest day!
Party on.
Oh, Edwards, it's showtime. Room service.
Dream on. One destination for a new generation of streaming. ESPN on Disney+.
The long wait is over.
Turn it on.
At CommBank, we're proud backers of Melbourne's business yakka. No matter what business you're in or what size your ambition, we've got the tools, tips and tech to keep you kicking financial goals. Whether you need cash flow support, to buy new equipment, or take payments in person or online, we're here to keep Melbourne business moving. So talk to one of our local specialists today. Search CommBank Business.
For non-stop entertainment and all the 2025 AFL gather-round action, head to Station Road, Sky City, where you'll catch the SEN team broadcasting live on stage across 4 full days of unmissable footy insights and highlights. Missed out on gather-round tickets? Then settle in at Sky City as every game is shown live. Or take the opportunity to dunk a sporting legend in Sky City's own dunk tank. There's something for everyone. Sky City Adelaide, where the action never stops.
Hitting the road this Easter holiday period? Hop into Metro Petroleum and fill up with quality fuel. Need that fill up for yourself? Why not grab one of these excellent deals? Mr. Whiffy ice cream cups in vanilla bean and chocolate flavours, only $3.50 each or 2 for $6. Need more? Smith's 45-gram chips and a Pepsi Max 440ml for just $4. Why not add a delicious Nestle medium-sized bar to this deal for $2 more? Offers available April 1st to April 30th at all 350 Metro Petroleum locations.
For pros who demand serious power and runtime, Makita Direct Connect delivers. With over 100 tools, it's built for all-day performance. No fuel, no cords, no downtime. From professional landscapers to lawn maintenance specialists, Direct Connect keeps you powered up and ready for any job. Experience the future of professional cordless power. Makita, rule the outdoors.
Makita back.
Business owners, let's make sure that's not the final siren for your business, but the beginning of a new era. I coach with a tailored approach that suits your business. Visit coachnick.com.au to book in your free consultation today.
Any parts, any automation technology, any factory, warehouse, machine building, anything manufacturing. NewTek are your specialists in pneumatic and automation. But why should you care? Put simply, NewTek will save your company money, reduce costs, and increase the throughput of your machinery. Spelled PNEUTECH. Call and challenge NewTek to demonstrate today. newtek.com.au. That's PNEUTech.com.au.
Hop into OMF's Big Easter Sale. Buy any mattress protector and get up to 60% off all modern family and signature mattresses, like the Mornington mattress, now under $1,100, or the Urban mattress, now under $1,500. This week, buy any modern, family or signature mattress and get 2 bonus pillows and get up to 20% off selected bedroom furniture. But hurry, these exciting deals won't last. And soon at OMF, the home of mattress, bedroom, bedding and furniture.
You're listening to AFL Nation. Head to fntsportspromo.com.au for your chance to win $2,000 for your local sports club with 4 and 20 and Coles. And looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate.
Crows are back out on Adelaide Oval. They have a 12-point lead at the main break. 11-6-72 to the Cats, 9-6-60. We are here at Gather Round for Toolkit Depot. Easter sale is on now. Brad Johnson, as you cast your eye over it, what happens next?
Well, it's for the Adelaide Crows. It is around this uncontested marks, because you look at the Cats, and when they beat Melbourne last week, that 148, their loss to Brisbane, they had 70 uncontested marks, and their loss to St Kilda was 60 uncontested marks. So at the moment, they sit, Adelaide have been able to hold them to 32. So they're in the window. But if they let that break open and they allow the Cats to start chipping the ball around and start controlling possession, controlling the ground, then the Cats will find probably their way back in front at three-quarter time. So it's suiting the game of the Adelaide Crows at the moment. Yes, there's only 12 points in it, but it's the power, it's the turnover, it's the score off turnover, which has been critical for the way Adelaide like to play their game with speed in it. And it's caught the Cats off guard, who had to really grit their teeth in that second term. So that's where it sits for me. They've been talking about this all week. Every player that's spoken in the media from the Adelaide Crows has spoken about the uncontested marks of the Cats. Big tick to half-time, but it needs to become a 4-quarter effort in keeping them to a level between 60 and 70 for the game.
And you would have spoken about the influential players. Where might the improvements come from?
We spoke a little bit about Jeremy Cameron just getting into the game late in that second term. 2 shots at goal, kicked the ripper late. So he's one where the improvement comes. But the improvement comes from the connection from the Cats, because Myers hasn't really been in the game or connected for the entire night. Shannon Neal hasn't been able to get involved along down the line in particular, because the Cats are having to kick the ball out of defence. Close has had some okay moments, but still they're losing that connection from defence to centre wing, and then they're breaking their structure going forward, because the Crows have been able to defensively set themselves up that way. So from a Geelong point of view, there's a fair bit of upside in their performance. Whether they can bring it together tonight because they're already on the back foot, that's their challenge.
And the firepower that the Crows have got has been before us all night, hasn't it?
And Phil Thorpe hasn't kicked a goal. So, there's that element to go with it. Ben Keys has been the one that has stood up, 13 disposals and 3 goals in the first half of footy. Fogarty's kicked his 4. Walker's had 4 shots at goal with 2 goals too. So once again, they've got quality 3 players that are dominating the scoreboard for their team.
So it was 6 goals to 5 in that second term after a 5-goal to 4 opening. I wonder if that trend continues as well as the high-scoring nature of it, or whether the Cats are able to curb a little bit of that.
Well, the Adelaide Crows kick over 100. That's what they do these days. They're a team that scores high, and the actual restriction of the opposition has been pretty good as well. They'd be sitting there disappointed with the Cats with 60 on the board, as much as their attacking nature is going really well. So they were profiling really well, the Adelaide Crows, and if you're going to beat them now, you're going to have to come out and kick 100 plus to do it.
Just inside 50s, Crows 32 to 27.
Yep.
And the clearance is 19 to 17 the Crows way. And the centre clearances are split now. As Geelong have got good reward from their centre clearances. I think they've kicked 4 goals.
It's not a massive gap in any of the stats, though, is there? Like, there's only 3s and 4s and 5s in terms of difference, which can be sort of, eaten up very, very quickly in the space of, 3 or 4 contests. So that's the thing with the stats, and the scoreboard probably reflects that in the end as well. As good as Adelaide were in the first 15 minutes of the second term, the Cats were equally as good in the second 15 minutes to get their way back into it.
AFL Nation for 4 and 20 sausage roll, and for Elders you can rely on Elders. It's the Crows by 12 points entering this third term. Players are in positions. It's a capacity crowd. It's a splendid sight to gather round underway. And on AFL Nation, the third term with Dwayne Russell.
For Deutz Far Tractors, great to have your company wherever you're listening. 72 to 60, 2-goal lead to the Adelaide Crows. So O'Brien to do the ruck work against Stanley. Both go at it and go at it hard. Ball knocked down in the Soligo direction. Got his arms free. Tried to flick a handball away. Holmes will get the clearance, and he slams it straight down the Staples. High, goal square. Beat a couple, and it's rolled through for a goal. It's gone all the way home. Hasn't touched a fingernail. Amazing. All the way Holmes. Ridiculous start to the third term. It took 15 seconds. And it's a 1-goal game on the Deutz Far Tractors scoreboard. The Deutz Far Warrior range from 170 to 350 horsepower. It's Deutz Far Evolved. Visit deutzfar.com.au.
So smart from Bruce Stanley. He tapped the ball forward into the space of Holmes, who just kicked it to the goal square. Danger in a one-on-one, but was just strong enough to force his opponent out of the way. He was actually trying to come back onto the contest, but fell over, so the ball hits the ground, and Jeremy Cameron does the right thing and lets it go through.
I think goal of the night for Beaumont Tiles. Beaumont's for Engineered Timber. High bounce in the middle. Stanley wins the tap. Soligo, though, onto the footy. Did the body work early. Slams the Crows forward. Humphries had front position on Keys. Dropped the mark. Keys feeds it off to Walker. Prods to full forward. Phil Thorpe in the battle. Knocked away by De Koning. Hand pass from O'Sullivan. Didn't find a target. Peatling around to Cumming. Into the channel. Perfect for Scholl. Hooks it at goal. All missed. Will it stay in the field of play? Fogarty got there right against the behind posts.
Teammates have settled him down, making sure he settles in now, has a shot at goal.
And he's going to go backwards. It hasn't quite worked. He wanted Soligo. It didn't get there. Oh, the umpire has then called a mark.
He called play on and then changed his mind and called a mark. I mean, come on.
They're shot to bits, these blokes tonight.
So the umpire closest called play on.
And then he changed his mind. Is there someone in his ear?
Or did one of the umps? Did one of the other umps jump in?
Another ump in his ear.
But that might be a direction. That might be their way at halftime. We're not looking after each other out here. We're making mistakes. We have to override each other at different stages.
Soligo with the set shot at goal. He has missed. So that probably sorts everything out.
So they can talk to each other on their headset, can't they? The 4 umpires together. But he was the closest umpire, so we had the best view of it. But that looked like an overall from another umpire further afield. So Dempsey's got it on the wing. He looks up and the Cats are at half forward with Stanley lurking in a good spot. He had O'Brien turned inside out. Stanley about to send it inside 50. He goes to close in the pocket. He goes longer to Stengel in the end, who flew. Can't mark. O'Sullivan tried to get a handball out. Missed his fist. Comes out towards Bowes. Can he get a kick away? He's gang tackled. Had to be ball from here. And it's ball from there too.
And that's a positional move by the Cats. O'Sullivan now playing as a forward.
I was surprised to see him down there. So last on the defence, Crows get the free. It's a one-kick game in essence. It's 11-7 to 10-6. Crows lead.
Worst part is too, Gerard, we don't get a replay because Soligo missed that goal, so we can't assess whether it actually did officially touch the ground or not.
Dawson into Cumming onto Laird, and Dawson has been the runner through the defensive 50. Launches down the line. O'Brien against Guthrie. Guthrie brought it to ground. Peatling is onto it. Hand passes backward to Keys and Walker, and the Crows are inside 50. De Koning had front position. The ball is loose, and Scholl is going to run onto it. Steady up. No, it's
50 metres and 50.
And the 50. So free kick against the fog.
Yeah. So Shoal didn't hear the whistle there.
Well,
or did he?
He would have had to have heard the whistle.
But he would have thought that it was play on advantage.
Yes, that's spot on, Dwayne. You've still got to turn. You've still got to have a look at the contest, the umpires.
De Koning, where's the mark set? Oh, right, up near centre half forwards. He kicks in the close direction, punched away. Rankin closes on the footy underfoot. Wobbles it out to half back. Guthrie had first access, dropped the mark. Humphreys had his hand pass picked off by Neil Bullen, who's in the tackle. Released it backwards to Rankin. Kick picked off by Bailey Smith. He veers on a run and a bounce that doesn't come back. Shuffles it up to Myers. Can he find a target inside 50? Not this time. Dempsey made the spell. Close off the ground. Opportunist's goal. It's a 1-point ball game. 11-6-72 Geelong to the Crows, 11-7-73. And that is on the Deutz Smart Tractors scoreboard.
How impressive is the speed of Bailey Smith out of the contest? Yeah, he messed up the bounce, was able to clean it up with a handball up to Myers and a deep ball inside forward 50. The Cats forwards, and their small forwards in particular, they're starting to get their hands dirty, getting to work, making sure the Adelaide Crows can't mark that defensive ball. It was Dempsey on that occasion with a fantastic contest to bring the ball to ground, and Close was there waiting, and a smart move to kick off the ground. He takes that ball and tries to run out of it. He gets tackled by the Adelaide Crows. Smart play by Close, and this is better by the Cats, especially with their mid-size and small forwards at the moment.
Could be a Bendix breaks, big moment. Put your foot down with confidence. Bendix breaks. Cats within a point. 11-7 to 11-6. Crowd's gone a little quiet. The 50,000 in the house. And the ball up, Stanley and O'Brien. Ball knocked down. Crouch half held by Holmes. Now he's fully held, but he's got the ball. And the umpire says, sling tackle. He had the ball in one hand, but he refused to release it. So it couldn't even have been holding the ball because he made no attempt. And then the ball slammed him on his back. The tackle slammed him on his back, so it's a free kick. Ball comes to Cumming through the traffic. Hands it over to Draper. He was hunted down by Bowes, and he took the dive forward, hoping for the in-the-back free. Umpire didn't play it. Ball up about 40 metres directly out from the Crows' goal.
I'm actually glad Crouch held onto the ball, because it would have been a lot worse if he loses his centre of gravity trying to kick it.
Stanley rows the tap and clears the area for the Cats. Now the Crows are well set here, and Laird takes the mark under the late pressure of Close. So forward half turnover. Laird takes a little while, then kicks into the channel. Tex is his target. Stanley made the spoil. Keys underfoot. Didn't quite handle it that time. Peatling around to Crouch and on to Hinge. Gives it to Dawson. Squeezed to kick to the teeth of goal. Curtin watches it come over his shoulder. It can't quite reach it. And it's through from behind.
He's got to see that, Dawson. He's got to see that, Dawson. He was having a shot, but you've got to see that you've got a clear player 10 metres out from goal when you're actually facing the goal shoulders that way. You've got to have the vision to hit up.
Quick into Holmes, and he was on the run if he wanted to go. He doesn't want to go, which is a little strange. He had some space, and he's normally a runner. He heads towards Stengel. Stood his ground, couldn't mark it. Hinge drummed it. Looks inside. He's got Crouch. He went further inside to Rankin, gave it to Crouch. He feeds the handball on to Dawson, who has a look this time, goes to the pocket. Couple of options. Cats get there with fists.
Stengel's in trouble here, Dwayne. I think he's either copped a big corky because he had to sit under that high ball. I don't think it's soft tissue as such. I think it's just a big knock to the right leg.
Hasn't had a big night at the office just yet. His old home ground.
Left forward pocket for the Crows. The lead is 2 points. Philthorpe and De Koning. Philthorpe feeds it up to Rankin. Footy knocked out of his hand. Wins it back. Off to Laird. Checks his kick to the teeth of goal. Keys protects the area but can't quite pull it in. Off hands, throw it in.
That's better though. At least they identified that player that was 10 metres out with an opportunity to mark the balls instead of just blazing away.
Be thrown in under the Riverbank stand. Crows deep in attack. Walker taps. Bailey Smith is onto it in defence. Got right under the kick. It's a rainmaker. Cumming backed himself hard and he takes the mark. That is tremendous courage onto the high ball.
It really was from both players, Gerard, both with eyes on it, but it was in the end, Cumming who was able to turn his body, protect the ball drop and take a clean grab in front of Humphreys.
He's kicked a couple as an Adelaide player. He's given himself a long run-up. The mark is set 30 metres out from goal. Isaac coming with the set shot. Hits the left-hand post and sends it wobbling to and fro. Crows lead it by 3. Dwayne's Far Tractors Schoolboard. We've played 9 minutes of this third term. I wonder if that's a big moment for Bendix Breaks. Put your foot down with confidence, Bendix Breaks.
Holmes plays on for fullback. Tex chases him, but got no hope of getting him a third bounce for Holmes. He ran all the way to defensive 50, thumps it out of bounds on the full. All that for nothing. Really good, and then he gave it back to Cumming. His inside kick is good to Curtis in the corridor on the wing. Couple of options in defence. Laird, half-back flank. Keane, half-back flank, runs to the middle. Almost caught by Close. He was caught by Close. Go to Rankin. Little push off on Bowes. That worked. Gave it to Michael Annie. About to send the Crows inside 50. Pulls the kick late and finds Thilthorpe. Sullivan not happy with his spoil attempt. And Thilthorpe lines up to kick his first of the night. 50 from goal. 45-degree angle, and Stengel does wobble his way off. Manor comes back on for the Cats. Neither team has jumped with their sub yet. So Thilthorpe for a steadier here. 11-9 to 11-6. River End, Adelaide Oval, packed grandstands. That'll work back a little, but won't work back anywhere near enough. Stays in the field of play, and then it's knocked through in the end, off hands. So it's a behind, whether it was knocked through initially, off heads, or whether it was knocked through eventually, but they're going to check it, which doesn't really warrant a check, does it? It's a behind one way or the other. So it's behind, maybe so champion data don't have to register the knock through that was secondary as a defensive knock through.
So it's a score rather than a rushed.
Yes, maybe. So it's just going down against Thilthorpe as opposed to a rush behind.
Forgot to even kick the Dwayne. It took him so long. 2 behinds for Thilthorpe. Humphreys brings it into the field of play to O'Connor. Cats have kicked the last 4 in the game. The Crows with a sequence of behinds. O'Connor brings it up. O'Sullivan will be the flyer. Couldn't hang on in the middle of the pack. Sharp hands from Keane to Thilthorpe. Worked it around to Saligo. And tackled to ground was Nan Curvis holding the ball. Cats with it. Centre square. O'Connor quickly to Bailey Smith. Delivers low down. Dangerfield stretches. Can't hang on to the juggling mark. It's over the boundary for a throw in. 55 out from Geelong's goal now. They attack the Cathedral end. Jeremy Cameron's the deep target in the square. Neil to ruck against O'Brien. O'Brien puts it down underneath. They will go to work. No one will get it. Tripples back over the boundary. And O'Brien tags out this time. He's heading to the bench and calling Thilthorpe in. Left half forward for the Cats. All on its way back into play. Thilthorpe holds his ground in front. He took the footy, got it to his boot. Kick went just not 15, so O'Connor has it, but he's been called to play on. Sends the Cats back to half forward. Neil has a fly. Dangerfield's a crumb, a free kick Geelong's way. Dangerfield emerges, kicks into the channel. Out came Cameron. Blitzarves the crummer. Hand pass to Close, overwhelmed by the pressure. Hinge has it on the last line. Dead end. Got caught. Got it away in the nick of time. Crouch fumbles it to the boundary and over for a throw in.
That's emergency, or their sub is warming up closely.
Well, yeah, the Cats is, and Adelaide have already made the move. So
Okay.
Scholl is off. He's been subbed out. Tactical sub. And Taylor is on the ground for the Crows.
Yeah. So ball to the full forward line for the Cats. Big fly, huge grab taken by Dempsey. Monster leap from him. And he really pulled one down there. That was a nice grab. Kid's got some ups. He can get up there. And that might be a contender for a mark of the night. And maybe if Bendix breaks, big moment. Put your foot down with confidence. Bendix brace, because this kick is for the lead for the Cats, and he slots it. A gentle 20-metre kick, dabbed over the goal umpire's hat. And the Cats are in front. He's got 2. I think the Cats have got 5 in a row. So 12-6-78 plays 11-10-76, and this place has gone silent.
7 out of 8 as well.
It's
from
been
30 points down.
It's been a huge shift, hasn't it, in the game by the Cats to now be in front. What a grab from Dempsey. That was well called. That was a huge leap. Certainly got that ability. Nice casual approach to 15 metres out from goal by Dempsey, but it worked. And credit for the Cats, and we've said it a couple of times, has to go to this midfield group that has changed the dynamic of the game. Bailey Smith has been dominant. Max Holmes has got himself going. Bose has had some important moments.
Bounce in the middle. Thilthorpe wins the tap. They get in and after it. Thilthorpe got trapped with it. Neil rolls over the top to force a secondary ball up. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 sausage roll and Elders. You can rely on Elders. Nothing from the ruck contest. Thilthorpe picks the footy up. He's in the tackle of Manor. Releases the ball off the ground. Went Crouch. Neil goes and wins the footy for the Cats. Now he's got time to sneak the hand pass away to Atkins. Tosses it up inside the 50. Dangerfield arrives like a wrecking ball. Punches it down. Nevitt works it around to Henry. Had it jarred from his grasp. Trying hard was Mullen. Was able to release it. Cats will come forward. O'Connor into the pocket. Dempsey in the one-on-one. Ground ball. Laird's the third man in. And he uses it well. Hand passes it away. Worrell clears the area. Next contest will be settled with a punch over the boundary and a throw in with the Cats at half full.
I haven't seen someone in recent times like Patrick Dangerfield crash packs from 20 back. He thinks he's an absolute chance to mark everything that's coming inside forward 50.
Crowd still quiet here. Maybe it's taken the Cats to get in front here for the Crows to actually realise we've got to lift our rate. And Crouch has been caught holding the ball. Atkins free. Little delayed throwback. Gave it off to Smith. Ran into trouble. Got a kick inside 50. Numbers back for the Crows. Keen's dropped the mark. Goes back to mop his own mess out. He kicks it out. And is that insufficient intent? Crouch was in the vicinity. He does get away with it. He should have got away with it. So ball in on the wing. And the Cats lead. Crows a little bit concerned right now. 11-10-76 to 12-6-78. Deutz Far Tractors scoreboard and the clock for New Tech Automation for Manufacturing. 17 minutes gone.
Sorry, Dwayne. He's been holding his neck a lot, Kane, in this game. What's going on there?
Myers, Smith and Dempsey at the stoppage. Cats up to full forward as a result. Dangerfield tapped down the way of Close. Miller gets through, and Malera finds the way down the wing. Tex presents to Koning, can't jar it clear. The umpire said he had a fist in it, so Tex has to play on. He steers the pass inboard to Neil Bullock. The Cats have sworn their numbers back. Miller on the follow-up, delivers long. What's he got in the pocket? Strong stuff from the sub Taylor with pressure bearing down. What a first involvement in a hot contest that is.
That's a leap. To be able to come on, stand your ground and mark that ball with severe pressure coming over the top from the Cats. Go back and convert now. What a start to your season if you can take a big mark inside forward 50. Crucial moment for the Adelaide Crows.
To end a run of 5 goals against. Zach Taylor, the tactical sub. Left forward pocket, 40 metres out. Punched it hard and straight. That's what you want from the move. And Zach Taylor wins himself all sorts of admiration. Crows are back in front, 4-point leaders, 12-10-82 to the Cats, 12-6-78 on the Deutz Far Tractors scoreboard.
Well, justifies the sub selection, doesn't it, or the sub move from the coaches when that can happen. It was a transition off half-back. Miller's run was important. Again, the double overlap. But the handball release in the centre of the ground was perfect because it was in front of the man on the mark. So, therefore, Miller was able to keep going and keep pushing the ball forward. Get it over the Cats' defence, which was set. And Taylor was in the right place to receive the ball inside forward 50. He had to be tough. He had to stand under it. And he did just that.
It's a fantastic moment for Bendix breaks. Put your foot down with confidence. Bendix breaks. And Riley O'Brien's had about a 7-minute rest on the bench as well, so he's come on fresh. So that's a good news story for the Crows as well as he dances his way toward this ball up with Stanley. Ball knocked down. O'Brien pursues it, never got there first. He's been sent into the middle, wrapped up, nowhere to go. Ball up again. Replay for Makita XGT 40-volt max. Shows how good a mark that was for Taylor, and he's about to get another crack at it. A floater to half forward. Tex goes up. Can't mark it. Fogarty almost crumbed it. He turned one way, turned another. He pulls the kick short, hoping for the pass target. Soligo wrapped up. Got a handball out. Draper outside of the boot. Crows are back. They're back big time. Draper's got the goods. He looks like he can play super set. And the Crows get back-to-back goals and get some breathing space again. 18 minutes gone in this third term. That's on the new tech clock. Optimise your business with automation. Crows 13-10-88. Lead by 10. Cats 12-6-78. Here's our expert for MEGT, Australia's apprenticeship expert, Brad Johnson.
Sometimes you just see little things, and it's understanding of where your opponents are. Draper being a right footer, he actually stepped out of that contest left, which then gave him all this space in front. And yes, he had to still do a little check side to kick the goal, but if he comes back towards his right foot, the Cats are everywhere, and they would have been able to swarm, smother, and turn the ball over. But because of his smarts and understanding, young player made a great decision to exit left, snap right, and finish accurately.
Goal of the day for Beaumont Tiles. Beaumont's for engineered timber. Crowd has come back to life. Goals to Taylor and Draper. So the young Crows doing the business. Holmes receives the tap in the middle. Did he get a legal hand pass? Umpire said no, holding the ball. Paintling away to Crouch. Low down at the 50. Didn't give the forwards much hope. O'Connor tackled as soon as he got hold of it. Ball it up. 55 out from the Adelaide goal. Stanley and O'Brien. No tap on the footy. Ball loose. Rankin underneath. Fed it out to Crouch. Slings it out the side to Neil Bullen. Check the pass to Walker. Tex gives it up. Neil Bullen from the boundary. Guthrie's goalkeeping. So the play on call thwarts a set shot at goal. Bowes in the opposite back pocket. The Cats look to clear the area. Long down the line. Henry and Close, the jumpers for the Cats. Stengels at the back, stands, missed the hand pass to Close. Miller a one way to Conan the other. Hard ball to be won. Mullen offloaded by Nankervis. Bowes taken to ground. It is fierce at the source there. Worrell's hand pass is out of bounds.
Yeah, you can't question both teams on that occasion. Ball was spilling around everywhere, and both teams were fierce in that contest.
Dangerfield about to come back on after the rest for the Cats. He's screaming his Cats players to block the corridor. Atkins gets it. Did he get a handball away? Well, he waited in the end and got a kick away toward half forward. And free kick back where the kick was as opposed to downfield. Atkins is free. So 6 minutes left, third term. Deutz far tracked his third term. He goes all the way back to centre half back. In fact, he makes O'Sullivan about 30 metres the wrong way to go and retrieve it. He heads out wide to Humphries. Tex got there, good fist Tex. Knocks it down, had the height advantage. And he runs it out in the end, out of side. And the crowd are in full voice again. Their team leads. They're big boys that put their big boy pants on. And they're looking the goods again. 13-10, plays 12-6. With 6 minutes left to three-quarter time. And a new tech automation for manufacturing clock.
Ball tossed into play. Crows slightly into attack. Tap comes to the front, and again they grapple. Atkins off to Manor. Kick to halfway. Nankervis front position. Tackled round and round he went. Got it to his boot. Kick lands in centre field. Gathered by Myers, who slipped over. Hand pass to Guthrie in the tackle. Off to Holmes. Back to Myers. Trying to find the opening, the Cats. Blitzarves is that. Kicks inside 50. Perfectly weighted ball for Stengel, who runs on and takes the mark.
That works for Blitzarves. One step on the left. What a kick. 45-metre, 50-metre bullet to Stengel, who had found space. He actually worked from the far side of the ground, Stengel. That was the highest work rate I've seen for this entire evening from Stengel. Be able to beat his direct opponent into the space and take the uncontested mark inside forward 50.
So goalless tonight. 7 for the season coming here. Tyson Stengel skips his way to 40 metres out. He guides it right, and it gets there through for a behind off hands. So a 9-point margin in favour of the Crows.
Just unsteady there from Stengel. You're right, Gerard. You called it well. He just started and he overstepped. Didn't kick it well at all.
Long launch to the wing from full-back. Off hands. Stolen by Myers. Got the handball inside to O'Sullivan. He got it inside to Holmes, who's off and running on his wrong side. And he's got no left. He had to go with the outside of the right and went straight to Keane, full-back. Had he had a left foot there, he could have centred the ball, but that's the trouble with the one side of one player. It's a defensive behind, accidentally, deliberately kicked, you reckon, Jono?
Yep.
Wow, Hawthorn style.
I think he shaped it for a little bit of a check, unless it was touched off the boot.
It would have been.
Oh, no. He shanked it, but he was going for a pass to his teammate.
Cats have turned the kick in over, and Bailey Smith drills the goal. So the Cats do get the major, and this is a thriller. 2 points. Approaching time on of the third term. 13:86 to the Crows. 13:10:88. Andy Smith, whenever it's in his hands, good things tend to happen.
It's a great turnover by the Cats. Forward half turnover, actually inside forward 50 turnover. Ollie Henry to Jeremy Cameron with the handball received, then to Bailey Smith, who was bursting through. And once again, he's been able to have a significant night. Bailey Smith, he started this season in fantastic form. And in two and a half quarters, the 23 disposals and 1 goal. His kicking efficiency is right down at 36% though, which is hurting his game a little bit, but it's not going to stop from his endeavour to pick his rating up as this season, as this game continues on.
About the ticking of time on, third term. From the ball up, Dangerfield in the middle. Got a clearance by hand though. Handballs it to half forward. Holmes was there. Well, Hinge is going to get done for this. Insufficient intent. The handball towards the line, but there's no crow out there. So Brian Myers, who was a pretty good target hitter, about centred inside 50 for the Cats. He sends it to the congested pocket. Up flies Stanley. Gets his own crumb. Floats one central. It should be marked by Dawson. He does mark it between fullback and centre half back. Dangerfield on the mark. He sends it out wide to Thilthorpe. 1-on-1. Thilthorpe and Blitzarves. Thilthorpe almost the second grab mark. Hasn't quite gone for him tonight. And Keys lays a tackle. Well, it could have been high. He took the headband off Blitzarves, but it's been paid as ball. Noise of affirmation there. And he gets the free on the half-back flank for the Crows, who lead by 2 points, 88-86. 18 minutes gone, third term on the new tech clock.
The count-up clock has stalled, Dwayne. I've just that's the third time we've given it as 18:04. It's stalled. There's 3.5 to go in the third term.
Short quarter.
Cats are kicking it around in defence, having worked the turnover.
I'm getting old, Gerard. As much time as I can get with the clock of life standing still, I'll take it. You've given me an extra 4 minutes of my life.
Guthrie out the near side. O'Sullivan takes the mark. O'Sullivan chips it around in defence. And a bit of this uncontested stuff from the Cats. Humphries finds his way to Smith, who takes off to the far side, looking to create the play. Mullen guides the pass against the boundary to O'Connor. Smith has continued to run. Kick's going to go a bit further because Jeremy Cameron has found a step of space. He'll look inboard and see what's on offer. Caresses it into the corridor. Dangerfield came from behind. Cumming made the spoil. Ground ball to be won. Taken by the Crows and held up. To earn a ball up, Neil Bullen hands the ball to the up. Centre half forward for the Cats. 2 point margin. in the Crows' favour. Manor with the secondary punch, but straight to Laird. Kicks out the near side wing. O'Sullivan leads the race. Fogarty won the footy. And pass a little too fierce, put it back into dispute. And O'Sullivan smothered the Laird hand pass back over the boundary. 18 minutes gone of the third term.
I like it. Yeah, you with me, Gerard.
2 minutes to go.
The stuck clock for New Tech. Optimise your business with automation. We've actually got 2 minutes left in the third, but it's nice to have the clock stuck at the moment for New Tech, with Atkins getting the ball, weaving his way past a couple. Goes inboard with the handoff. Manor, caught by the Dax. And that's almost 50, isn't it? Peatling was backpedaling. Atkins threw it to him where he was, and Peatling took a couple of steps back to take his kick, trying to get the 50. Miller from one back flank to the other. To Keane. To Hinge. 1.5 minutes left. Hinge down the spine. Bites off the aggressive kick. To Laird. Goes to goal. Philthorpe will kick this one from the goal square. And they'll get the steadier with a three-quarter time siren a minute away. I thought he marked it in the square. The umpire said he marked it just outside, so he'll be on a slight angle, but that won't worry him. He could put this in the torrent if he wanted to. He could kick into one of those sightseers on the top of the riverbank stand who was sitting up there watching from a high. He drills it. Just what the Crows needed with three-quarter time approaching. Third turn for Deutz-Fahr tractors. The Deutz-Fahr Warrior range from 170 to 350 horsepower. It's Deutz-Fahr evolved. Visit deutzfahr.com.au. Crows 14.10.94. Cats 13.8.86. Here's Brad Johnson, our expert for MEGT Builder, winning team with Australia's apprenticeship experts.
Well, the work rate of Matt Crouch, that sets that up for the Adelaide Crows. He was on centre wing and was able to burst himself into the corridor. He actually outrun and outworked Max Holmes on that occasion. Got at least a 5 or 10 metre gap on him, and the ball used through him was really important to setting up that goal, because once he becomes the reference in the middle of the ground, the halfback runners go. Miller takes off, Laird takes off, Laird gets the handball received and kicks the ball effectively to Philthorpe.
Ball back in the middle for Maccas. A Minecraft movie meal has arrived at Maccas. Crows by 8. At the bounce in the middle, free kick going Geelong's way to Stanley. Stanley in the circles. What's he thinking? He'll give them a look inside the last minute of the term. Cameron had a big fly. It bounced off his chest. Miller underneath to clear the area for Adelaide. What do they got? Fogarty, clever little tap inboard. Crouch, slipped the tackle. Hand pass to Laird. Guides the Crows out near Keys. Blitzarv's left his man. Disrupted the play and sees it over the boundary.
That was important by Blitzarv's. If he stays on his heels, Adelaide are away. With Keys and Philthorpe would have worked that out 2v1. In fact, he comes forward, creates the spoil out of play. They get a stoppage on the wing.
16 seconds remain. Time enough on a clear break from the wing. Stanley the tap. Onto the footy though is Taylor for the Crows. Crouch got caught by Atkins. Ball fell clear. Crouch goes again. Hand pass to Dawson. Tackle without it, I fancy. Crows will get the free kick, but they're out of time. Adelaide by 8 points at the final change. 3 goals to 4 in that term.
You just asked Dawson if he wanted his kick.
Good fun. Good fun. 14-10-94 to Geelong. 13-8-86. Multiple goal kickers. 4 for Fogarty, 3 for Keys, 2 for Walker. Well, for the Cats, it's 2 for Dempsey, 2 for Dangerfield, and 2 for Close. AFL Nation for 4 and 20 sausage roll. And Elders, you can rely on Elders.
That quarter on AFL Nation was for the Deutz-Fahr Warrior range. From 170 to 350 horsepower, it's Deutz-Fahr Evolved. Visit deutzfahr.com.au.
Introducing Avoca wheat from AGT, a slow-maturing spring wheat with AH quality. Avoca offers more marketing flexibility at harvest with highly competitive yields. Get seed of Avoca for the 2025 season through AGT affiliates or local retailers.
Sitting around waiting while the car gets washed? Forget doom scrolling. Add some thrill to your wait with the thrill of a $40 million jackpot every 3 minutes. Keno Go. Download the app today.
Kicking off a project. What you gonna do? So many moving parts and only one of you. Why don't you just go say every project sing? Yeah, make it sing. It's comes in your corner. Make sure you're looking for anything. Why don't you just go say?
Visit coats.com.au.
I do enjoy gardening. I'm a bit of a green thumb, catching up with friends and family. I'm a pretty social person.
Outside of work, I read a lot. I do a bit of crafty stuff.
Every Monday I do the cooking at the soup kitchen in Geelong on Maribel Street and cook breakfast for about 65 people.
I like to travel once a year, go away on a fairly decent holiday somewhere in the country.
Get to know the team at tobinbrothers.com.au. Tobin Brothers Funerals, celebrating lives.
It's here, the new 7-seat Isuzu MU-X SUV. With bold lines and performance to match, the new Isuzu MU-X is our most capable family SUV ever. It'll turn heads as you tackle the daily commute and easily handle your next off-road adventure. Stylish and confident. Own it. Go your own way in the new Isuzu MU-X SUV. Visit your local Isuzu Ute dealer today.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. Have you ever dreamed of having the world's best Italian-made tiles in your home? Right now at National Tiles, select any one of our 17 very popular standard range tiles and we'll upgrade you to the world's very best Italian-made tiles absolutely free, saving you a massive $4,000 on an average 80 square metre order. Yes, have the world's best Italian-made tiles and depending on quantity, save up to $4,000 or more. But you'll have to be quick, so rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Real people, real products, real fun. No matter who you are, Sexyland has something real sexy for everyone. With Australia's biggest range of sexy costumes, lingerie, couples toys and fun gifts and games for adults. Sexyland. 11 stores in Melbourne and Geelong, open till midnight 7 days a week. Or shop online for 2-hour delivery. Sexyland.com.au.
Whether you're first timing, upsizing, investing, or empty nesting, if you've found the right home, MeBank has the right loan for you. With great rates and support from a local mobile banker whenever you need it, there's no better time to let me help with your next move. Search MeBank Home Loans today or reach out to your local banker to get started. Me, making money good. Credit criteria, fees and T's and C's apply.
Installery.
For the hottest of hot party you've ever seen. Ream comes on steady, hot and strong. It just keeps on and on.
Ream AmbiHeat, the advanced energy-saving heat pump that's made in Australia. Accept nothing less than Australia's best.
You're listening to AFL Nation. Head to fntsportspromo.com.au for your chance to win $2,000 for your local sports club with 4 and 20 and Coles. And looking for an agent you can rely on? Trust the team at Elders Real Estate.
Big fly, huge grab taken by Dempsey. Monster leap from him. And he really pulled one down there. That was a nice grab. Kid's got some ups. This kick is for the lead for the Cats, and he slots it.
Miller on the follow-up, delivers long. What's he got in the pocket? Strong start from the sub, Taylor. What a first involvement in a hot contest that is. Left forward pocket, 40 metres out, punched it hard and straight. Cats have turned the kick in over, and Bailey Smith drills the goal. And this is a thriller. It's the Crows by 8 at the final change. The Cats have put their noses in front twice briefly in the course of the match. What are you thinking, Brad Johnson, as we hit the last quarter?
It's still got a Crows feel about it, but the Cats have had to really sort of dig towards getting themselves back into the contest. The Crows were able to kick those couple of goals late to just create the little gap here at three-quarter time. But look, it's the midfield battle here, and you look at the Adelaide Crows. They've gone with Rankin in the start, Dawson and Saligo. So the 3 stars up against Bailey Smith, Mahomes and Atkins for the Catters. So it's going to be a fantastic finish. What a way to start gather round.
We're here at Gather Round for Toolkit Depot. Easter sale is on now. Crows by 8. They'll finish off to the Cathedral end. Opening bounce for the final term. Ruckman go to work. O'Brien clear tap. Bailey Smith first access. Got it to his boot as he was slung to ground. Taken by Holmes. Cats advance first. Up goes Keane in defence. Knocked away from him. Stengel had a fresh area off the ground and got bowled over for his trouble. Atkins out to Myers. Missed the hand pass to Holmes. Has to win his own footy. Keys came one way. Fierce stuff. Humphries onto the loose ball. High inside 50. Dangerfield from a long way back brought it to ground and jarred it clear. Guthrie's down there. Bailey Smith probes for Dangerfield, reaches out, gathers, took him on, hand pass to Mullen who fumbled it, and the moment passed. Keane holds up. High ball on the way out. O'Sullivan watches it, does ever so well back with the flight.
That's an elite mark from O'Sullivan. That ball was doing plenty in the air.
Looking over his shoulder. Gave it off to De Koning. Long launch inside 50. Danger comes again, nearly marked it. Close, nearly crumbed it. Well, he did crumb it, but he missed his boot. Myers lays a tackle on Laird, who didn't have it. And the crowd pretty happy that Laird wins himself a free.
It's pretty crafty by Laird.
He just didn't take possession when everyone thought he would. Dangerfield smuggles a kick. Ricochet. Bo's about to pounce on it. Hands it up just in time. Jezza. Jeremy Cameron time. Wow. Danger having an impact. He won't get the goal next to his name, but you might as well put it next to his name. That was phenomenal. And the Crows, at the moment, a little worried. 2 minutes in, final term, brought to you by Tyre Power, by the way. Toyo, 25% off. And their big Easter sale is on now at Tyre Power. 25% off on selected Toyo tyres. Tyrepower.com.au. Cats, 2 points away again. 14-10 the Crows. 14-8 the Cats. Our expert for MEGT. Your apprenticeship experts in Australia, Brett Johnson.
Well, I don't know what you think, Dwayne and Gerard, but I think Danger's been massive in this game. And then you go to the stats board, you go, he's had 11 disposals, kicked the 2 goals. But what he's been able to do, contest after contest, has been significant to the Cats. One, yes, controlling the ball inside there and keeping it alive inside their forward 50. But just that determination that others jump on board with his power and strength to stay involved in the contest.
Crows by 2, bounce in the middle. O'Brien the tap. Again, Bailey Smith first access. Kick was smothered. Dawson did well. Rankin left it behind. Holmes in the tackle. Ball it up.
So Bailey Smith is up to 27. Holmes 23 in this game. Crouch leading the way for the Crows with 21.
Manor gathers at the stoppage. Holmes kick smothered. Ricochets though to Stanley. Hand pass not handled by Bose. Laird to Hinge. Down in the tackle. Free kick. There's some fierce stuff happening around the ball.
That's another one that's been called a tackle that was dangerous tackle. It wasn't dangerous at all.
Kick out to Dawson. He has a fumble. Close, whisks it away. Gave it to Smith. Steers the pass for Dangerfield. Great spoil by Worrell reaching out. Michaelani onto the loose ball. Gave it to Millerer. Finds the kick. Slipped across the turf to Cumming. Delivers the Crows up the wing. Fogarty, hard hands that time, couldn't hang on. He's giving ground, retaining possession. Keys and Michaelani on the flyby. Took on the tackle, released it when Holmes got him. Laird got bundled off the footy. Cats have it. O'Sullivan, Atkins, Blitzarves, Guthrie. Kick comes forward. In space is Myers. He takes the mark.
Turns, goes, and a beautifully delivered pass to Dempsey. Hands it off. Little chip kick, chiseling kick is good. Lace out to Cameron. A delightful delivery from Manor. And Cameron to line up to give the Cats the lead. at the 5-minute mark of the last quarter.
Well, it's the grind Myers kick, Dwayne, and it was called brilliantly because everyone's looking towards the middle of the ground. They actually had some players that he might have been able to kick towards, but he just sees Manor out the corner of his eye, which then opens up the entire 50 because Manor can play on. Cameron runs into space and gets the shot at goal.
Cameron from 40 directly out. This is huge. In he runs. He's got it, and the Cats have the lead. So Cameron's got 3 back-to-back goals for Jezza. And that means the Cats are in front. So the Tyre Power scoreboard, Toyo 25% off, says that the Cats are in front 98-94 by 4 points. The replay for Makita XGT. More power, more efficiency, more Makita, telling us the exact story that Brad Johnson did. And right now, that was a certainty for goal for Jezza, who's kicking so well from 40 directly out. For DLF Seeds, innovative forages for farmers, delivering certainty through science. Jono.
That was their best build-up for the entire game. The Cats, they won the ball back off at half-back. It was tough and around the contest. They had to get the ball back off the Crows, get back and swarm that area of the ground. They did that. And then they were able to release with numbers going forward to kick probably their best build-up and team goal for the game.
It's going to be one of those rare matches where both teams top the ton, and Dermot's rule is the first team to get there usually wins. So the next goal is the game, Dwayne. They fight for the ball in the middle. Bailey Smith wins it away with a kick. Stengel punches it on. Ball loose. Cameron onto it. Veers to the left. Hooks it over the shoulder. Not enough on it. Dangerfield brought it to ground. Keane goes off the ground. That'd want to work. Now he's kicked it straight to Guthrie. Checks the kick inside the 50. Manor overwhelmed by the pressure and lost it. Laird, Peatling. Crows are bringing it out through Draper. Ran straight into the tackle of Cameron. Curtin close to the boundary. The little things matter. Phil Thorpe tapped it on, but Peatling couldn't gather it. It's out of play right half forward for the Cats.
Well, they do at the moment in this last quarter. I know we're just underway, but all of a sudden the Cats are double in possessions, 30 to 15, but it's the uncontested possessions. 20 to 8 is where they're starting to really get on top. The Cats early in this last quarter.
Back into play. 2 rucks. Phil Thorpe doing the ruck work for the Crows. Goes out, a little topo from Rankin. Picked up by Holmes. Blind handball forward. Cats had a few players around it. None of them went for it. Peatling goes and gets it. Trugs a tackle. Bumped on the kick. Blitzars gets back against Walker. 1 grab, 2 grabs, not the third. Fogarty, one way then the other. Gave it to Rankin. Little handball to his own disadvantage, really. It's rolled out of play. And a ball in. This game's on off edge right now. 15-8 the Cats, 98 to the Crows, 14-10, 94. Tyre Power, Toyo 25% off scoreboard.
It's good viewing. Crows marginally in attack. Thrown in on the wing. Holmes came up with a footy, but into a 2-man tackle. By 4. Phil Thorpe and Stanley. Phil Thorpe put it down. Another for Bailey Smith, but there's nobody wearing hand pass and Crouch onto it. Kicks the Crows to half forward. Takes from a long way back. Couldn't jail the ball clear. Never claimed the mark, which wasn't paid. He didn't have first access and he's tackled by Walker. A ball up.
Because he held the ball up in the air claiming the mark, is that his prior?
Yeah, you'd reckon. Because he had no real reason to claim the mark.
So there's his prior. Time to get rid of it.
They scrap at the source again. Bowes wins the kick away up the wing. It slides on, rolls on, spins on its top, and then goes over the boundary.
Cats jump with their sub yet? Still not.
Not yet.
Okay, so still with Closey to bring on the Cats, to bring on some fresh legs. They're leaving it late. Back into play. Phil Thorpe still doing the ruck work. So O'Brien getting a rest now. Bailey Smith scrambles a kick, but straight to Crouch. Was that required? Well, it's either 50 or it's play on. And the umpire says it's neither.
Look what he's told, Brian.
We'll get the good ones. Hinge from one back flank to the other. Goes to Keane. He looks around. Inside kick, he's okay to Laird. Holds it up, half back. Got a couple of Crows along. He goes with a chip kick to Hinge. That wasn't required, so they come at him, and he's caught. And was that a handball or not? Umpire says play on anyway. Close, goes for goal, or danger. Danger's dropped it. Good enough to mop up his mess, just to rub it in. He's got 3. Crows have problems. 14 minutes still left in this last quarter. For tyre power, Toyo 25% off. But I'm not sure the Cats have led by 10 points tonight. 16-8 to 14-10. Make a liar of me, Gerard. Have they led by 10?
No, they led by 1, 2.
The Cats, Atkins with pressure on Hinge. They've had numbers around the ball. This has been so strong from the Cats to really grit and find their way to a nice lead at the moment early in this last quarter. Worrell from the Adelaide Crows was going nuts after this goal was kicked because he was let down by his teammates up the field with poor disposal, and he gets caught out.
3 each for Cameron and Dangerfield. Cats first to triple figures. 104 plays 94. Bounce in the middle. Thilthorpe comes up with it. Hand pass to Crouch. Gives it out the back to Dawson. Got under his kick, so it's shallow at half forward, and O'Sullivan is there for the Cats to take the intercept mark. He's got Nevitt as the short, but he's going to kick it longer. Not a great kick. Dawson had first access. Miller comes through. Crows have it. Nankervis, Thilthorpe out the side to Cumming. Doubles back around. Dempsey looking for the right target. Kicks to the contest. O'Sullivan up again. Blitzarves actually spilled his own man. Guthrie to Smith. Stood in the tackle. Guthrie, hot potato. Off to O'Connor. Kick wasn't great. Close on the spilled footy. Gives it to Blitzarves. Opens play up to Nevitt. Kicks the Cats to half forward. 2 of them spoiled each other. Dangerfield though mops up again. Hand pass to Myers. Steadies himself. Kicks for Neil or Cameron. Dempsey underneath. In the tackle. Lost it. Keane. Quick hand pass to Peatling. Tumbles it outside. That's not a great kick. Thilthorpe couldn't quite handle it, but he goes in and wins it. Brought down the tackle of Close. Atkins onto it. Hand pass to O'Connor. Nevitt. Guthrie. Smith. Cats muscling it forward. High to the teeth of goal. With the flight, O'Sullivan. Dangerfield underneath. Going to kick his fourth. Danger shaping the game. A mountain of work went into that goal. And the Cats lead it by 16. 17-8, 110 to Adelaide. 14-10, 94. 12 gone at the fourth term. A big moment for Bendix Brakes. Put your foot down with confidence, Bendix Brakes.
Well, Patrick Dangerfield, 4 touches in this last quarter have led to 2 goals, plus all the other bits and pieces that aren't counted as kicks and handballs that he's been able to do in the first part of this last quarter as well. Jeremy Cameron with the 2 goals. So 4 goals between their 2 superstars inside forward 50 to start this last term. And they've been able to separate the game. It's been huge from the Cats. And we spoke all game around how the stats have been relatively even for the first 3 quarters. Now there's a gap. There's a gap in Geelong's favour. There's a gap in amount of disposals. There's a gap in contested possessions and uncontested ball.
Crouch gets the clearance. Hammers it inside 50. No front-on contact free. Yes, there was. Humphreys met front on. And Fogarty takes some time to give it back to him. You can hear the boos halfway through this final term. Ball to De Koning. He thumps it wide. The Closey option is on. The sub is on. Just came on the wing. Still a chance to get it. Closey. Close on hands and knees. Gave it to, in the end, Never. Gave it back to Close. Kicks to half forward. Through hands. Miller goes back. Feeds it off to Nankervis. Caught. Slung. Got a handball off back to Miller just in time. Chips the kick. Neil Bullen, half-back flank. Still a ton of time left for Adelaide. 12 minutes left, and they're 3 goals from the lead.
Hinge loose on the wing. Guides it forward. Didn't pick the right option. It landed with Fogarty on the first bounce. Hand pass to Peatling. Unimpeded run. Kicks it into the corridor and uses Rankin for the set shots. Finally, they were able to get the ball out over the top from half-back. The Adelaide Crows.
deep kick to Hinge, who played on immediately, and that was important to keep the flow in the game for the Adelaide Crows.
Isaac Rankin, no angle to speak of, 40 metres from goal. Crows, after being initially overwhelmed in this term, it's got to hit, and it does. Rankin meets his moments. The Crows close to 10 points as they too reach triple figures. 15-10, 100 to Geelong, 17-8, 110. It's the 15th minute of the final term. It's Mullen who was subbed out of the game, but just while that set shot was being taken, Stengel hobbled from the ground, so I wonder if the moment Geelong made the sub, they've picked up an injury. We'll wait to see what happens with Stengel.
They've been battling a fair bit since that contest on the far side of the ground. He copped a big corky, Tyson Stengel. So hopefully it's only that from a Geelong point of view. They don't want to be a couple of players down now with about 10 minutes to go in this game. Important finish from Isaac Rankin.
The stage is set now for the big Adelaide comeback. Opening game at Gather Round. They were 3 goals down. Mount the big comeback and win in impressive style. So what have they got left here, the Crows? Ball knocked down. Dawson, can he get the clearance? Towed away from him. Holmes working hard on hands and knees. Atkins comes up with it. Gave it to Nevitt. He tumbles it to half forward. Rolling ball. Picked off by Keane. Gave the handball up. Scholes, short. Rankin. He got on the end of it. They're mounting the challenge, Adelaide.
Oh, he's got a barrel.
He did, and it should be marked, although it hasn't. It has been marked at the end. Luckily by Neil, who gets back and took a good saving mark to a tumbling ball at half back. He's got Dangerfield calling for it wide. Pulls the kick short, and Hinge can't take the second grab mark. Isaac Rankin again. He turns it over to Guthrie. Didn't travel the required. Guthrie outside of the boot. Kicked it straight to Worrell. Mistake after mistake, but it's tough right now. Hinge slams it on the boot. Gets it inside 50. Fogarty got there late. It's almost a mark to Blixars. Did he hold it long enough? Umpire said no from the scramble. Curtin outside of the boot. It bends away from Tex. And bounces out of play. Forward pocket for Adelaide. 17 minutes gone. New tech clock. Automation for manufacturing. Final term. And it's 100 to 110. Cats lead.
Tex has taken this for the Adelaide Crows. We know how good he is at grabbing the ball out of the ruck.
At the throw in. Tex to the front. Took it out of the ruck. Close. He closed him down. He still fought on Tex and finally overwhelmed, holding the ball.
Nearly
worked out. His ball. It was absolutely worth the gamble.
I reckon they almost knew he was going to do it, so they had 2 tackles already.
Closey to De Koning over to Holmes against the boundary. Kicks the Cats down the wing. Dempsey has to fly. Clears him. Ball loose at the back. Stanley's the first to arrive. Hand pass low down for Myers. Kept it going. O'Connor barreled in the tackle. High. O'Connor's desperate to give it off, and he does. Myers inside the 50. Keane got a hand to it. Dempsey against the boundary. Hand passed inboard. Henry, what's he thinking? Outside of the boots? No, across the face. It hits the behind post on the bump. It'll be a throw-in.
Down to 8 minutes, final term. Crows 2 goals from the lead. Ball in the Cats' forward pocket. Edge of the seat stuff. Opening game of Gather Round, and it's lived up to the billing. So ruck contest. O'Brien, Neil. Ball knocked down to Henry. Ran into a jam. Caught. Threw it away. Umpire says ball. So the Adelaide Crows come up with it. Rankin thumps it out wide. Thilthorpe. Good hands. He's got on the wing and he's looking forward to see what he's got. Heads toward half forward. Neil Bullen's his target. Got hands on it. Couldn't mark it. No arm chop free. He's fighting hard, and the umpire says I'll have it. And brought up on the wing. And we're down to 8 minutes in the final term on a new tech clock. Optimise your business with automation thanks to new tech.
Cats by 10. Stengel is standing at the interchange gates. Nevitt hit the tackle the moment he got it. Dangerfield taking his last breather. So Cameron, Henry and Neil are forward for the Cats. Thilthorpe, the line man inside 50 for the Crows. Dawson got caught, threw it away, holding the ball. been so contested around the footy. Brilliantly contested. Manna up to Guthrie, not 15. High down the line. Stanley flew, no mark. Taylor underneath for the Crows. O'Brien back to Taylor. Knocked over in the tackle. Neil Bullen caught. Holding the ball. It's Guthrie's footy at halfway.
You're right, Gerard. It's finals like contest after contest. Yeah, but we've got the scoring to match it. Normally a final is 60 points to 70 points when it's played like this.
Inboard to Bailey Smith inside 50. Spoils are made. Ball is loose. Henry has it. Feeds it to Closey. The sub couldn't hit the right kick. And he misses to the right. 11-point margin in the Cats' favour with 7.5 to play.
Still 2 goals to margin. Spear kick to Millerer. Hands it back to Keane, the man he kicked it to it.
Oh, that's nothing.
Now, O'Connor's under this. Keys is with him. Eats them out legally. Cats have the numbers. Dempsey, Holmes. Hands it back. Chip kick O'Connor is not the required. Myers. This is the required, but he's kicked it straight to Worrell. Getting there, Neil. Got there late. No arm chop free. Maybe it was, but the umpire said play on. Ball towards Draper. O'Connor flies. Knocked it away from him. Ball fell to Myers. Got a handball to Dempsey. Scrambles at the half forward. Close. Takes the chest mark. Too far out to score. He's 80 from goal. With the Cats building here. I'm happy with the point of on the Cats here. 2-goal margin. I'm content with that.
Kicks for Cameron. He couldn't quite reach it. Got one hand to it, but not the second.
It's hard to lose the game when you're 12 points up with 6 minutes left.
Yep.
You can draw it. You can draw it, but hard to lose it from there.
Crowd is 50,073 to start gather rounds. At the throw in, tap came the way of Dempsey, dropped it. Atkins found a way through, got it to his boot and got the point that Dwayne was searching for. So 12 points with 6:20 to play.
Rose might prove me a liar here, but down the spine they travel to Worrell. Even 2 goals.
Cats have to defend the corridor.
6 minutes left and Stanley got there. Did defend it. Time on their side now. No need to do anything crazy. Manna, will you take the point now, you the Cats? Because that puts them 13 up. Manna's goal, had he kicked it, would have been better for the Cats, but they're still 13 up now. And that makes it tough for the Crows with 5:50 left.
The urgency is there for the Crows. Kick into Michael Annie. Brings it down the wing. Keys is there. Play on or injudicious. I get the idea, but gave it straight up. Closey to Guthrie to Holmes, and the Cats can go into a bit of protection mode. Holmes kicks it long to a contest. Neil set himself. Keane outmarked him. Keane, short ball. Rankin hasn't marked it. Got stuck over the footy. What?
He paid the mark. He paid the mark.
Oh,
These blokes have been hopeless.
Kick long down the line to Fogarty. The arm shot was clear. So Crows have it forward of halfway. It's Fogarty's ball. The tide of players recedes. He winds it up onto the right boot. Phil Thorpe's the deep targets. Ball clears the pack. Dempsey sweeps up for the Cats. Hand pass to Guthrie. Brings it out to Holmes. Kicks beyond the 50. Fogarty's well placed. He thumped it rather than marked it. Smith had first access underneath. Closey onto it. Ran into Rankin. Dispossessed him. Rankin inside the 50. Can the Crows come up with a mark? Not this time. Guthrie made the spoil on Keys. It's out of bounds. 40 out from the Adelaide goal. 4:40 to play.
Still time for Adelaide here. They're good enough. 13 points to margin. 113 to 100. Cats lead. Flung into play. Ruckman, well, did Closey get in the way of the Adelaide Crows ruckman? He wasn't the designated ruck, but the throw was so shallow. Dangerfield's crashed it down. No free kick, no mark. Ball comes toward Nankervis. He had to lay a tackle Nankervis in the end of the umpire. He'll sort it out for the ball up. Dangerfield's ice packs on his body tonight. He's going to have about 17. He might as well ice bath himself for about an hour. He has committed himself big time.
Gerard McCameron's got to get up too after that contest.
Manor wins it at the source, slips over, lost the footy as a result. Taylor working his way through for Adelaide. Hand pass to Dawson, took him on. Kicks to the teeth of goal and scrambles and runs on and goes out of play. Hit the behind post for a throw in. So some tired bodies after the long battle. 4:05 to play. Crows deep in attack. 13-point deficit to chase down. O'Brien plants himself in front. Tap didn't come off. Holmes clears the area for the Cats. Worrell set himself. Dangerfield brought it to ground. No, mark taken by Worrell, who gets up to go. He was forward of the mark. It's just not how it works. Worrell kicks into centre field. Where will the Crows look to attack from?
Cats have retreated. I think they've got to try and find a couple of shorts in a row and take a mark just inside 50. It's going to be long shots that are going to win them the game.
Taylor with footy in hand. Winds it up. Didn't make great contact. Blitzards gets a hand to it. Got it away before he was tackled. Onto it goes Bowes. Hand pass to Cameron. Works it around to Closey. Steers the kick close to the boundary and it's punched over by Michael Annie. Thrown in at halfway. 3:15 to play. Cats by 13.
3 goals in 3 minutes. That's the equation for Adelaide. Cats have had a brilliant second half. Came out after half time and we're all guns blazing. Ball back into play, but they're not quite home yet. Ball comes out to Manor and he was happy to see this ball up. He didn't get a kick away, but it was after the whistle blew. Down to 3 minutes now. Ball on the wing. So everything has to work for the Adelaide Crows for this miracle finish for them. Crow fans not happy with anything at the moment.
The ump dropped the ball coming back. So.
Ball flung in the air. O'Brien was knocked toward the boundary. Smith was waiting for that option. He was hammered. Ball comes toward Atkins. Every second that ticks off the clock now to Geelong's favourite. Smith got a roll. Well, the umpire paid that insufficient intent. Crowd enjoyed that. So they get the free, the Adelaide Crows, but we're down to 2 minutes and 45 now with the ball in the hands of Michael Annie. Cats lead by 13.
He brings it inboard to Laird. Probes up the wing for Taylor, who marks and goes. He's got to give them a look deep. Fogarty's his man. He flies. De Koning from the side made the spoil. Hand pass from Stanley. O'Connor sees it over the boundary.
They're playing Collingwood style with the Cats, taking this time off, keeping it wide, mopping up
smart.
seconds. Yeah.
Adelaide Crows are sort of stopped. They're just bombing along at the moment. They just needed to be smarter on a few entries going forward in the last 3 minutes. Might have been able to give themselves a look to score.
50 out from the Adelaide goal. Boundary throw in. Tap to the front. Cats just edged it a little further away from danger. Good body work done by Dawson, but the hand pass wasn't much chop. Dangerfield onto it. Gives it to Atkins. Kicks for Cameron on the wing. It clears him. Close runs onto it. Hacks it off the turf to take the territory in the follow-up. Nankervis comes one way, Keane the other. Close, towed it on. Henry just had a fumble when he might have been on to goal. Nankervis works to Hinge. Brings it out to Cumming. Crows have it at half-back.
Down to 2 minutes. Inside kick. They've got to be aggressive. They knew that. It's cut off by Holmes. And the Cats are home here.
Such a poor kick, though, from Cumming.
Wide out to Dangerfield. So if the Crows don't man up now, the Cats will just kick it around.
Yep.
Dangerfield gets the booze. You can boo all you like. He's going to be a winner tonight, the Cats captain. He left the Crows. They're not happy about it. He had to leave to get a flag. He'd be pretty happy with his kit bag right now. High inside 50. Off hands. Hinge has got it. Middle of the sandwich. Close, short to Cameron. Bang! Hard collision, but he took the mark. And he will kick the sealer from 8 metres out. And the Crows fans can start heading for the aisles. Jezza gets himself up. And he's got a full 30 to take here if he wants it. He's going to kick from 15 out. Bend it around the body. 45-degree angle. And now the seconds start ticking. 29 gone. And the Crows are gone. And their fans are going. Tick, tick, tick. Jezza kicks the goal. It is over. The opening game of Gather Round is a win for the Cats, and Jeremy Cameron has got 4 for the night. 1 minute left in the final term, brought to us by Tyre Power. 25% off on Toyo tyres. And the Cats are 18-11, 119, lead by 19. The Crows 15-10, 100.
The Cats 5 goals in the last quarter, 3 to Cameron, 2 to Dangerfield.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? And that's what we said at three-quarter time, was they were the two players that needed to really have big last quarter, especially Jeremy Cameron, who in the third term was able to find a bit of ball. Second term kept them alive at half-time as well with some late disposals and just got his game going. So he walks off the ground now pretty satisfied, where with still improvement in his game. Don't get me wrong with Jeremy Cameron. It's still not there yet, but there's enough there tonight for a spike forward with the goals to match his endeavour in this second half. He's been able to put the Cats on his shoulder and get them across the line, himself and Dangerfield combined.
Chris Scott has come down from the bench, so that always gives you a bit of a visual as to how much it all means. Crows free kick in the middle of the ground goes to Crouch. As we reach the final minute, he delivers the Crows inside 50. Dilthorpe comes out. There's a shepherding free kick paid to Humphreys against Keys. So Humphreys has it for the Cats in defence.
Spoke pre-game, Gerard, about this is the opportunity for the Crows to grow up and beat a team they haven't been able to. And for the first half, they looked likely, but not able to stand up again against this Geelong Footy Club.
Nevitt takes a good contested mark on the wing and backs right off. It's going to run the clock. Nevitt will deliver up to the 50. Stanley had a big fly, just didn't time it properly, and Dawson has taken the mark. He's been called to play on and he wasn't quite clear. Hand passes it around. Nankervis against the boundary. Dilthorpe rises. Nevitt got first hands to it. Dilthorpe has it. Hand pass to Walker. Thumps it up inside the 50. Rankin and Keys. Everyone stumbled over. The ump played a free kick Geelong's way. It's Humphreys' ball down in defence. We'll bring it out to O'Sullivan on the bounce. Stirring stuff from the Cats. The festival needs a strong opening act, and this has been a beauty. Geelong come from 30 points down to win by 19 running away, and they down the Crows at home.
We are Geelong, the greatest team of all. We are Geelong, we're always on the ball. We play the game as it should be played, at home or far away. Our banners fly high from dawn to dark, down at Gardenia Park.
The Crows led at quarter time by 5, the half by 12, and three-quarter time by 8. But it was 5 goals to 1 in the final term Geelong's way. They emerged victorious by 19 points, 18-11, 119 to Adelaide, 15-10, 100. 4 each to Dangerfield and to Cameron, with 2 to Close and Dempsey. Singles to Smith, Holmes, Bowes, Neal, Henry and Guthrie.
It's always our ambition throughout the game to fight with all our might, because we're the mighty blue and white. And when the ball is bounced to the final bell, stand up and fight like hell.
The lesser-known second verse of the Geelong song.
You knew it.
You know it. Fogarty 4, Keys 3, Walker and Rankin 2 apiece, with singles to Curtin, Dilthorpe, Taylor and Draper. 50,073 fans in at Adelaide Oval to see it. The Cats by 19. Brad Johnson.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue. Stand up and fight. Remember our tradition. Stand up and fight. It's always our ambition.
No, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the second verse. No, I'd rather a repeat of the first.
Yeah.
Go hard on the first, little gap, let the music go, then go hard again.
Yeah, it's a change.
No one's singing the second verse.
It does finish well though. Stand up and fight like hell. And they did fight like hell tonight.
Well, that's exactly right. That second half was outstanding. The last quarter was brilliant by the Cats. 5 goals, 3 to 1 goal in the last quarter. Jeremy Cameron kicks 3. Paddy Dangerfield kicks 2 of those as well. And the way they were able to stop the Adelaide Crows from any run from behind, and that was the key in that last quarter, because Adelaide have been able to get some great overlap and got themselves in a really strong position throughout the game because of the run and drive that they were able to create. So full credit to the Cats for being able to stop that. and put pressure on, and they were able to outnumber the contest because they were able to turn the ball over in really strong positions of the ground, defended the corridor extremely well, and outworked their opposition. So this is 2 losses in a row now for the Adelaide Crows. I know last week, obviously, the 1-point loss, and then this one here as well.
Let's hear from Brad Close.
Tough game against some really good opposition, so now we're wrapped with the win.
Mate, talk to us about that at the back end of that second quarter as well. You kicked those last couple to keep you right in it, and then you really steamrolled in the third.
Yeah, we took that momentum into half-time, and we pushed strong in the last there.
Good Mount Gambier boy as well. Good to be back here. What do we do over the next couple of days? Can we go a little bit of sightseeing, or what's the story?
Yeah, always good to be back in SA. I love playing here at Adelaide Oval, and a lot of the boys do as well. So, yeah, no, we've got a good break now until Easter Monday. So, boys will put the feet up. Good recovery, maybe down the beach. So, it'll be nice.
And your old mate Jeremy Cameron still got it, mate. 4 just quick ones, and then the old Frank the Tank, if you don't mind, in the last.
Yeah, he was big in the last there. I think he kicked 3 in the last. So, got us over the line, and yeah, he's been massive for us.
Congratulations, mate. Enjoy the rest of your time here in South Australia, and thanks very much for your time.
Thanks for having us.
Brad Close for the winning Cats. It was 9 goals to 4 after half-time.
Yeah, it's huge, isn't it? It really is. And it surprised me in some ways because the Adelaide Crows, from what they've been able to produce in the early part of this season, when they've got that lead, they've been able to hold it and run away from the opposition. So Chris Scott would be absolutely pumped. I know he was quick to get to the other side of the ground post-game, wanting to get into the rooms. I think he wants to get into the rooms to greet this playing group because he'd be so proud as coach to be able to see them just play tough, hard football, but then be able to grind their way back into the contest and then separate the game in the last quarter as well. Because normally when you're grinding your way back, you run out of legs. But to their credit, they stayed on top of the ground the entire game.
With Stewart out as a laid out
as well. That's a great call.
Fair effort.
Yeah, there's plenty in that for dissection on both sides of the ball. I think we were just getting going on the Crows when we took that interview. So it's 2 losses in a row.
Yeah, 2 losses in a row now. So it's just and this critical one at home. And I agree with what you said pre-game, Gerard. I know I mentioned it late in the game, but that is a sign of really growing up when you can take on a team that has been that has had the wood on you for some time, and you're in a better place than what they are leading into the game, yet you're still not able to get on top of them or win the game when you have been on top of them throughout the game. So another little mental barrier that they weren't able to overcome as a footy club tonight. But you got to give everything to the Cats. Like they had some players that had some big numbers, even in the last quarter. Holmes and Smith led the way with 11 disposals each. Bailey Smith got a lot of ball. His kicking efficiency was right down tonight, but sometimes that's important, but it's just the endeavour to not give up on the contest at all and keep pushing through, and that work rate of Holmes and Smith with 22 disposals between them, that just keeps possession in their half of the ground, keeps that drive around the contest, outnumber at the contest consistently to be able to give you the best chance.
And I reckon it changes your mindset. I know I said it in the call, but I reckon when you're 11 points down, you feel like you can play normally with 5 or 6 minutes to go and still win the game. When you're 12 down, you're starting to think, okay, with 2 goals at least now, we're going to need 3. And then 13 points. Once the Cats got a 13-point lead, they just took on everything the Adelaide Crows and were so haphazard, almost to their detriment, were too aggressive and haphazard because they felt like that's what we're going to have to do to actually win the game. So, I mean, the change of mindset throughout that last 7 or 8 minutes, I think was an interesting watch to me because they knew almost that we've got to be crazy here in the last 6 minutes or 5 minutes to win this game when, maybe they didn't necessarily have to be.
No, that's a good point. You don't have to be crazy. You've got to be smart. And that's where, you've got Isaac Rankin trying to kick a barrel, which wouldn't be part of any of their strategy that they work on when they're trying to score late. And Geelong had flooded completely back. They needed to be smart and chip to 65 and then get a chip to 45, 50 and just have a shot from outside 50. We as a competition, when it's tight, we're always going deep thinking we need to get that goal from 10, 15 metres out. Well, no, you can actually, the space is at 50 and no side uses that space to be able to get themselves a shot at goal or two or three shots at goal late in the game. Yeah, they're harder kicks, but these players have got the ability to be able to hit them from 50, and that's where Adelaide let themselves down.
Crows got the Giants next week. Is it the Giants?
I'll get that up for you, Dwayne.
I shouldn't ask a question I don't know the answer to. That's an old rule in radio. Always know the answer to the question that you've asked. But I think they've got a tough one next week.
It's the Giants here on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, so, I mean, the Giants are going all right. And if it's 3 losses in a row for Adelaide, then they're going to start asking some questions because they've built everyone's hopes up as well. And look, they're better. They're better this year. But, I mean, there's probably, the way it stands right now, 12 or 10 maybe really good teams in the comp. The Gold Coast are better. Adelaide's better. There's a couple of teams outside the 8. Missed the finals last year. Collingwood finished 9th last year. They're better. So, you know, you might end up having a really good season, showing great improvement, but still missing the 8. So you don't want to be the ones without a chair when the music stops.
Absolutely. And the build-up now to Easter Monday is going to be huge.
Oh, yeah, what a blockbuster that is.
Yeah, Geelong v Hawthorn, that's 90,000 plus now. With where the Cats are at, Cats home game.
Hawks fans are turning up. You got that for Fox, or it's a huge?
No, I reckon we might be together. Oh, you might have it for Fox. I might be holding the fort for radio.
No, I think I've not got it for Fox. I thought I initially had it for Fox.
Well, you and I might
yes,
be there together.
Do we want the Hawks to win that game heading in? Because that's a massive game against Port Adelaide as well. It's going to be how good's footy.
Have we got the song here for Tobin Brothers? Tobin Brothers Funeral, celebrating lives every day of the year. By 19 points. And for the second year in a row, the Crows lose the opener.
Wow.
In Gatherround.
Thought about that.
So they beat Carlton in year 1 dynamically. They lost to Melbourne disappointingly last year, and they've been overrun by the Cats tonight.
I know, because you forget how good that start was tonight with Taylor Walker and that first goal of the game, and how it just got everyone in this whole place exploding.
And was Tex a little hurt later in the game? He spent a fair bit of time on the bench, I think.
He kicked a big barrel at one point, so that probably... I think it's just the fact of where he's at as a player. You know, running out the 4 quarters, he's going to look a little bit more fatigued at times.
Rankin wasn't as good in the first half. He had a good patch, didn't he? But he wasn't as good in the first half. So maybe it's a cork in the calf. You can't play with a tear in the calf, but you can play with a cork in it, can't you?
You can. That's been his season a little bit though, Rankin. It's been a spark, but it hasn't been a complete game.
And we talked about that with Jeremy Cameron. Boy, did he turn it on late,
didn't he? And that's the credit to the experience of someone like a Jeremy Cameron, who was able to his game. He wasn't doing anything. He had 1 disposal in the second quarter until the last 2 minutes, where he went 1 goal 1. And then was able to then build on that from the second half. He goes in halftime with 5 disposals and a point on the board.
And did Dangerfield have the best 15 possession game that's been played?
I think so.
What do you have in the end, Danger?
So he's had 6 in the last quarter with 2 goals. But overall for his game, he's had 16 disposals, 4 goals, 1, 4 tackles. But it's more than that, this game from Danger, because he crashed 10 packs and he put body pressure on when he squashed his own teammate a couple of times. Like he did it all.
It's a bit in the eye of the beholder where you put him in the votes.
Well,
he's in the votes, totally yours. That's the thing. You could easily have him with the 3.
Yes.
Or I suspect some people will leave him out. But he's just so eye-catching.
His presence tonight was pretty much a best on ground.
I think we're talking about that talking about it on the show today. It's the kind of presence that LDU doesn't have, or Connor Rosie doesn't have. Like, you're a leader of your club. I know LDU's not the captain, but a Jai Simpkin perhaps as a captain. Dangerfield has that extra presence. For some reason he can do that, as opposed to some of the other leaders of other clubs that don't have that. I'm going to wrecking ball you if you don't get them all way, as you called it during the call, Gerard.
All right, let's head into the Geelong rooms. Our Temper Sleep Well player, then what a magnificent Temper pillow is Zach Guthrie. Zach, congratulations. Welcome to AFL Nation.
Thanks very much. Yeah, it was a bit of a grind in the end. They came out hot and they played some good footy, but to come away with a win was, really pleasing for us.
How tough was it out there? It was absolutely captivating to watch.
Yeah, they're a really high-scoring team, and they've started the year really well. They've got some really talented players through the midfield, up forward. They've been really firing, so we knew that was going to be a threat for us, and it sort of did turn out that way, that it was a high-scoring affair. When they've got, such good players up there, it's really tough to stop. And in the first half, they were looking really dangerous, but to sort of fight back and, I guess, put enough scores on the board our way is really pleasing. And I thought Jez was really good late, which helped us out a huge amount.
Zach, congratulations on a great gutsy win tonight. I'm sure the coach will be extremely proud of the performance. What was some of the discussions from Chris at halftime, at three-quarter time, in regards to the way he wanted you to sort of play and wrestle the game back in your favour?
Yeah, well, we sort of had a plan coming in. We knew, as I said, that they were going to be a high-scoring team, and they've got some real firepower up there. So we tweaked a couple of things, but to be honest, it was most of it sort of stayed pretty constant throughout the game. We thought that if we could sort of just grind the game down and keep playing our way, that would be enough to sort of get us home in the end. And in the end, we sort of stormed home late and we're able to get the win, which is pleasing. But certainly wasn't easy. They were played some really good footy.
Was it mentioned early on at all around their focus of restricting your uncontested marks in game? I know they spoke about it as a club throughout the week openly, but then they've got to produce a performance to restrict it, and they kind of did early, and that enabled them to get the game on their terms. Did you speak about that at all?
Yeah, it's about a balance for us. Obviously, sort of taking what the defence gives us. If they do play us high in defence, we're obviously really confident in the look we've got up forward with some of our bigs and even our smalls at the feet as well. But if they sort of sit back on us as well, we're sort of happy to use our mids and use our backs, sort of getting up in the game to challenge them. So, we've got a bit of a plan, I guess, going both ways. But, sort of depending and being able to adapt and, I guess just reading what the defence gives us. So, they did a really good job at stopping that early. But as the game wore on, I thought we sort of found a bit of a better balance, and also, getting it forward to our forwards, and they sort of did the rest helped as well.
Zach, you got yourself on the scoreboard as well early in the game. I know you like kicking a snag.
Yeah, all defenders like kicking a snag, I think. So I took a mark outside 50, and it's always nice to hear that you've got a 50-metre penalty, because sometimes that's the only way you can get yourself in the forward line. So, it was a nice little reward.
Did you know all day that Tom wasn't playing?
It was pretty late. He flew up with us, and just started to feel a bit crook. So obviously the plan throughout the week was for him to play, but he went down late, which makes things tough when you lose such a good player like him. But I guess to be able to grind it out in the end and be able to get the win despite having one of your best players out is pleasing.
And Danger as a leader?
Sorry, repeat that.
And Danger as a leader. He only had, I think, 16 possessions, but he had so much more impact than that.
Oh, he's unbelievable, isn't he? He turned 35 earlier this week, and throughout his whole career, he's just been able to throw his body in there with brute force, and he takes, some of the biggest knocks that I reckon I've ever seen a player do, because he does throw himself in there so often, and he's still an unbelievable player in the competition, and someone that I've been really lucky to play alongside for my whole career so far. And he's still got plenty of awesome footy ahead, and he's so important to us. So it's nice having him as a skipper, that's for sure.